Good morning, Columbus.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Right now. Start this one.
Frizzle left tight, F fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth
Mr. T-Bone.
and a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis pal.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You know, I feel like we live in a world that things sometimes don't always get the hype or the play. It doesn't ever go to plan, right? When somebody says, oh, this is going to be the biggest thing ever. We're going to bring in 4 quarterbacks to find out who our starter is going to be. It never goes quite the way that you think it's going to. I think that's kind of life. So when people tell me that Taylor Swift was going to break the internet, I didn't believe her, Tyvis Powell, and by God, she did last night. We'll get all the updates on that. We're going to somehow tie Taylor Swift into the Cleveland Browns quarterback competition, the latest on Shedeur Sanders. Plenty of Ohio State to get to with some high praise for one Jeremiah Smith. We got the list, we got Clip It, we got it all for you right here on The Fan. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana filling in for T-Bone this week. He is Tyvis Powell. Appreciate you joining us this morning. And Tyvis, I honestly was naive about how last night was going to go, but I mean, they literally crashed YouTube with Taylor Swift on New Heights. I saw the clips. We'll get the full replay from Dylan in just a second. But you know what? The first thing, good for them. Because I'm not saying I was questioning. I knew he was going to do massive numbers and millions and, all that. But I was like, they actually did it. Like, they really did crash the internet with Taylor Swift on the New Heights podcast. Good for them.
You know what's crazy? So I anticipated that this would be like something that everybody is going to want to see, right? So I come from the basement. I was downstairs in my basement last night. As I was going upstairs to go to bed, there in my living room sat the New Heights podcast with Taylor Swift. And I looked at my wife and I said, what are you doing? I said, you actually are sitting here watching this? She says, oh my God, I'm a Swiftie. And I just couldn't believe that she ain't watched that New Height. She didn't even know about it.
She didn't know about the podcast.
She didn't even know it existed. And now all of a sudden, because Taylor Swift is on there, you got to watch it. I was at that point, I was like, they're going to break all kind of numbers. If my wife is doing this.
I had friends that, and again, their wife was, they're massive Swifties, but it was an event. It was like sit down. I would say like sit down and have some popcorn, but like it was sit down, watch it. And you're so right. Like, they know who Travis is at this point. I thought it was interesting how Taylor talked about she knew nothing of football before she started dating Travis. I thought the story of Travis, like, barreling through security at Arrowhead to try to get a chance to say hi to her and say, like, we're going to date now, like, just in the most, like, lug-headed way ever. I guess it worked. Good for him. Guy's got to have some sort of game to get Taylor Swift. But, like, I thought those were all cool stories, but I did wonder what the subject was going to be because there were people that were going to watch no matter what because it was Taylor Swift and it was Travis Kelce and it was a little insight that you were not going to get anywhere else. But then there were going to be some people, like I got a tweet from a person that I know that they really follow sports. Like, they love sports. And they go, well, that was a waste of time. And I was like, see, you were in there looking for some sports nuggets. And he was like, well, there's only 5 minutes of interesting thing. I was like, dude, there were people in there that were eating every minute of it up. It was just depending on what you were looking for and what you were searching for out of the podcast. But like when you do what is, I'm sure is 1.4 at one point. I'm sure it's almost more than that at this point.
It's 8.4 right now.
Woo!
Yeah, it was 1.4 million that were watching it live. Yes.
So 8.5 watched it. Dylan, we go ahead, man. What did you think? I've been waiting to hear. I didn't even ask you pre-show. I didn't want to know pre-show your thoughts. First off, was it everything that you thought it was going to be?
It was everything that I thought it would be, plus more.
Wow.
Oh, good. Good for you.
I don't think there was any stones left unturned. I think that's credit to mainly Jason interviewing Taylor and Travis. That's what that's what it kind of felt like, because Travis and Taylor were in the same room right next to each other. So it was like Jason kind of asking the questions and you getting the perspective of Taylor and Travis of, the beginning with, like you said, Travis trying to get a meet and greet essentially and then pouting on the podcast. And that's essentially how Taylor found out that he had any interest in her, and literally throwing a fit on their podcast saying that he wanted to meet her. And then, the stories of like Andy Reid being friends with her dad from back in when he was coaching Philly because she's from Reading. Like, you got all those stories to the story. Like, she thought Travis and Jason would be lined up on the field at the same time. She had no concept of offense and defense in football. And people were like, when they would show her all the time, would give her crap saying like, oh, she probably knows nothing about football. Well, she didn't, and she admitted it. There was nothing to hide there. So, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it because I know there's a lot of people that don't want to hear the intricacies of Taylor Swift. But when it comes from Taylor and football, I feel like all the questions that you might have had about her fandom and her relationship with Travis are answered. And then obviously she goes into getting her music back and then the new album.
Yeah, that obviously was big. And they already have like the track listing and they're all going out. Tyvis, the thing, and Dylan, same thing, like watching this, because I'll lay out where I'm at with everybody. Like, listen, I really don't care. Like, I do, but I don't, because like, I actually feel bad that there's two people that are trying to make it work, but then they're also uber famous. Like, okay, weep and cry that she makes a bajillion dollars doing what she do, right? Like, they're going to follow along, but I feel bad because, people are investigating them all the time, or they're looking for this, or they're looking for that. So I want them to do whatever makes them happy, but I got to tell you guys, I've always, and this is mean of me, and I have nothing to base this on, but it's just how I feel. I've always had a little question of authenticity about, is this media created? Is this just because the NFL is so popular and she can kind of glom onto that? Dylan, did you get any sort of like, or even throughout this whole thing, have you ever questioned this, if this is actually real, like if they're just two people that are meant to be together? Did you get any answers to that with the podcast last night?
I've definitely questioned it in the past because I do like a good sports conspiracy, but I don't think so here. It felt very genuine to me. And towards the end, she calls them family, which makes me think that there are some plans in the future for the two of them.
See, Tyvis, that's a flip for me, because sometimes I don't want to say, I'm not going to cast this on anyone else, but if you've ever had that significant other or girl or guy that you're dating and they go to that a little too quick, and you're like, we've been together 2 months. Don't call my mom. She's not your mom. It's been 2 months. Calm down. Like, we're not getting engaged at 17. Like, let's back this down a little bit. So, I don't know. They're adults. I'm
honestly, this whole thing for me is I'm not a huge, like, super fan. Like, I respect both of them and what they do and what they are to this world. But I'm not, like, I love the fact that they show, like, we are regular people. We still do regular things. Her not knowing football was funny because it's like her trying to explain like Josh Allen and Jared Goff on the. I'm like, whoa, but it was funny to know that. Like, it shows that she's not afraid to let the world know like who she really is, and I respect anybody that's able to do that. And I love the fact that she became such a big Chiefs fan that she was watching the draft and she broke the news to Travis that they got Xavier Worthy. Like, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Like, she loves him so much or cares about him so much that she actually is trying to learn his craft. Like, to me, like, I like that. Like, all right, and he's probably sitting her down trying to teach her ins and outs. She knows the coverages now. I was like, there it is. Teaching the dark side of the ball. Yeah.
There you go.
So I was hyped up for that moment. But at the end of the day, I'm not watching that full episode. I'm going to continue to watch the clips.
That's why we got Dylan.
I'm not watching it. The full
was
thing.
2.5 hours almost.
It was 2.5 hours?
I started fading towards the last half hour. I was like, man, because you could only access it at 7. I was doing stuff, so I wasn't one of the live viewers. So I probably finished it at like 10:30. So that last half hour, 45 minutes, it was a struggle.
Well, and I want to, that she has a whole entourage, not entourage, probably the wrong word, but she has a whole group of people that probably sat down with Travis and Jason, were like, okay, you can ask her about even though they're dating, even though you want to sit there and believe oh, this is Travis's girlfriend, but it's still she's Taylor Swift #1, so it's don't ask her about this. But it sounded like she went into, like you said, the music, she went into some of the family stuff, so I mean, to go 2.5 hours, they had to be pretty open on a lot of things. So, hey, you didn't do $8.5 million on anything. Good for them. I'm glad it went well, and everybody enjoyed it. And go back and watch it. I'm sure it'll do even more numbers, just like the Browns quarterback competition. That's doing some numbers, but the numbers are dwindling because everybody is somehow getting injured. You started with 4. You're down to really one healthy one. But the big news yesterday was Shedeur Sanders. He now has an oblique injury. That changes things for this weekend for the Browns. They're getting ready to take on the Eagles on Saturday for preseason game number 2. What should the Browns do? Tyvis covers the Browns. I'm up here in Cleveland. What do they have to do with this quarterback situation? We'll get to that coming up. We got it for you. Just kicking things off this morning right here on The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, we are noticing some foggy conditions out on our roadways, and unfortunately that's coming with some crashes, especially for folks over on the west side. This is happening just west of West Jefferson. We're noticing a crash on 42, that ramp just off of 70, that westbound direction. It is currently restricted right now, again, after that crash. Police on scene. Again, the road is open, just a little bit restricted this morning. Make sure to give yourself ample time this morning and steer clear of crew members on scene. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
With rates as low as 8.99% APR, now is the perfect time to save your summer with a debt consolidation loan from BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday. Live in Columbus. Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday with special guest Foxing Kemba Live Outdoor, Saturday, October 23rd. Get tickets now at AXS.com. Brought to you by Promo West Productions.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
Pete Rose collected a single on this date, August 14th, back in 1986, against the Giants at Riverfront Stadium. It was his third hit of the game, and nothing really special about it. But as it turned out, it was Pete's last base hit. Pete was sharing playing time at first base that year with Tony Perez and Nick Osaski, and he was hitting just .219. Perhaps not a surprise given Pete's age of 45. He had just 9 more at-bats that season, but never got another hit. And so that single against the Giants at Riverfront set the all-time Major League hit record of 4,256. On this August 14th, 1986, one for the record books, This Date in Reds Baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Matty Ice here. Are you ready to rumble? Then get ready to roll on up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, they're unleashing huge savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado 1500. We're talking about up to $13,000 off MSRP. Or if you need some serious muscle, get a 2025 Silverado HD for as low as 3.9% APR for qualified buyers. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Common Man and Timmy.
Why did you get such a big tub?
I guess I screwed up.
You did screw up. Garbage. I think it's supposed to do with garbage.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start off the day with some clouds, although there could be some patchy dense fog, so safe travels in those spots. Otherwise, upper 60s turning into upper 80s this afternoon. Minimal chances of rain. Most of us will have mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, mostly clear with our lows a little bit cooler down into the upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Tyvis Powell is a legendary Buckeye. T-Bone loves to eat Buckeyes. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well, you would think if you had 4 quarterbacks and a 1.5, you wouldn't have a problem trying to get guys to play in a game, but the opposite has happened for the Cleveland Browns. They had 4. The one guy you thought actually would get injured is 40-year-old Joe Flacco. He's the only one that hasn't faced injury at this point. Talking about right here on The Fan, T-Bone and Tyvis. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week. Of course, Tyvis Powell right there. And, you know, Tyvis, you cover the team. We're a part of it here. And I just, you know, you had the 2 rookies. You had Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. Okay, Shedeur had the shoulder soreness. Now, the news yesterday, he had to leave practice with an oblique injury. Then, Dylan Gabriel's got a hamstring injury. Kenny Pickett slowed down by a hamstring injury. They have to bring in Tyler Huntley. And there is little old Joe Flacco at 40 years old, the one guy that I probably would have put money on would have been injured that isn't. And Tyvis, do you think this is actually messing their plans up? Because Shedeur starts game 1. Kevin Stefanski comes out and he says, well, our whole goal was to have a rookie start each game. So, okay, all right, well, maybe you had to flip it, right? You probably wanted Dylan Gabriel game 1. You didn't get that. Now Dylan sounds like is leaning towards game 2. But it, you know, whether Pickett plays or not, whether you got to put Huntley back in there, we knew Flacco wasn't going to change. So, like, there are people that, listen, I don't want anyone to get injured. It's going to slow the development of these guys as rookies no matter what. I don't like that. But I also sit here and saying, you know what? They had so many guys. They had a plan in place. I don't actually know if this is the big hurdle that everybody's trying to make it out to be.
When you look at this whole thing, it's funny because you use the preseason, especially how the Browns operate, is they use those first 2 games to really assess the young guys. You want to get those guys the most reps. Speaking of the fact that you got a 40-year-old Joe Flacco who you're like, I don't need to see you. And Joe's like, I don't want to play in the preseason anyways. So, yeah, we good. So that kicks it down to you. You thought you really going into this had the 3 quarterbacks, Kenny, Shedeur, and Dylan. Now, the reason those 3 is important is because those are the only 3 out of those 4 not including Tyler Huntley. Well, even including him, even 3 out of the 5 that have not played for Kevin Stefanski. They haven't been out there on the field and had to take play calling from him and relay it to the messages and all of those things. They haven't worked with him. So this was a golden opportunity to see which one of those guys vibes the best, clicks the best, can handle what Kevin is saying the best and relay it to the team. Like, that was that moment. And the team is kind of getting robbed of that moment. Obviously, Shedeur had a chance to go out there. So we've seen what it looked like with Shedeur. Hopefully, Dylan Gabriel can go out there. We can see what it looks like with Dylan Gabriel. I think all eyes will be on Dylan Gabriel if he's able to go against Philadelphia, which, by the way, I hear he went like 6 of 19 yesterday.
Yeah,
so
it was a rough go for the Browns offense yesterday. From all the reports
I hear the
out.
defense is great. But
defense is good. You're like, all right, well, that Philly offense, nothing to sneeze at. But, yeah, it sounded like very disconjointed on how the offense went yesterday. And that's like – this is where it was so hard for me to understand how the Browns were going to approach all 4. And it seemed like they had the plan. Like, it seemed like it started, Pickett and Flacco are going to go over this way. They're kind of on their own, and we're going to put the rookies together. And I think we all read into maybe Flacco and Pickett will compete for the starting job, and then these other 2 guys will compete for, like, the backup, and maybe they'll trade one of the veteran guys away.
Yeah, that was a lot of people's thought.
Yeah, now, dude, and then here comes all these injuries, right? And you got to sit this guy for this practice and this or that. And what the Browns are going to have to do, which is, I think, an interesting point about Shedeur from last weekend, now that you're going to be missing reps, and game reps are certainly important, but Tyvis, you know better than any of us, that the practice reps, when the coaches are being real specific about, okay, this is the play call that we had, we were looking for this, we wanted this, like the reps in practice are so vital. Now that you're going to be missing some of that, they're going to have to increase the importance on the samples that they have. You get what I'm saying? Like, you only had a certain sample of Shedeur Sanders, right? Now he's going to be missing practice. So you're going to go over that more and more and magnify that even more to try to help make your decision. That's why I think this week and this game on Saturday for Dylan Gabriel, like, I'm not trying to rush his injury. I'm not a doctor. I don't know hamstrings. I know I have 2, and they're sore most days than not. That's all I know about them. They suck because I don't stretch well enough. That's a me problem. But Dylan, you better get out there, man.
Oh, that's what I said. You really ain't got no choice because next week, I think a lot of the ones, you can't go the entire preseason and not let your starters play. Like, you don't want their first game or them first time getting prepared for game day is on the actual regular season game day. Think about it. These ones haven't played in a game since the last game of the season. So you don't want that whole drought to be and then think that they're going to be ready against Cincinnati week 1. Like, that's not the case. So I think a lot of 1 reps is going to go to the ones next game against the Rams because that's the last and final chance to do so. So this was a big week for backups. This is like your last shot to really make an impression. And that's why I think it's vital that Dylan Gabriel is out there. And that's why I thought it was vital that Shedeur Sanders go out there. Because what would have happened was they probably would have started Dylan Gabriel because they would have said, you know what, Shedeur had the 2s. Let's give Dylan Gabriel the 2s. And let's see what he does. Because with Shedeur, they went down there, marched down the field 2 times and scored 2 touchdowns. You know, they scored that team put up 30 points. You know, can Dylan Gabriel mustered up that same type of performance. And it didn't have to be him throwing 2 touchdowns, but they wanted to see if he could command the offense. Is he doing his pre-snap reads? Is he going to the right place with the football? Can he get us some good drives down the field? Like, those are the things that they want to see in this week. And I think that missing the game isn't all that bad for like a Shedeur, but the practice was the one. That's the part that's really bothering me because, as you know, in joint practices, they're running what they want to run in the regular season. There is no, we going to make it a vanilla thing so everybody can understand where to go. No, we're going to throw you the whole kitchen sink to see if you can handle it because their defense is going to throw up them the kitchen sink to see if they can handle it, and it was going to be a real assessment period. That's why guys like Joe Flacco and all those starters don't have to play in this week's game because they're getting their quote-unquote game reps from practice this week.
You don't face the Eagles, and Tyvis, one of the rules that were hammered home to our media brethren out there, you will not videotape team practice.
Not
You
at
won't
all.
do it because
Yeah.
you're right. You can see it. You cannot tape it because this is some real things. So, talking about Flacco, Dylan found this, and I appreciate this because he set this up for me. He goes, I want everyone to listen to Joe Flacco here. So the question was posed to him about Dylan Gabriel's hamstring, and Dylan brought this up to me, Tyvis, that does Joe sound maybe a little bothered by this situation? Let's all hear it together. Here's Joe Flacco yesterday talking about Dylan Gabriel.
You know, me and Dan were just laughing. You guys like to ask me about these guys, and what if I just said, like, you know, honestly though, guys, we're in that room together and we're all doing things together. But when it comes out in this field, like, I'm not super worried about what Dylan's doing to get back from his hamstring.
So that was as nice as stop asking me because I don't care.
No,
Good
yeah,
for Joe.
It's one of those things that people, like, everybody thinks that he's taking this leadership role. And Joe Flacco has told you multiple times, like, I'm not a mentor. Like, I'm not.
They think he's a coach.
Yeah,
Tyvis,
I'm
and he's
not.
They think he's a coach.
Yes.
And they forget that he's a player.
And he's like,
you
listen,
know?
I'm competing because I'm trying to get this job still. Like, it's not like a foregone conclusion that I'm the starting quarterback. I'm still competing. I'm still trying to get ready to go out there and ball myself. So I'm not worried about what's going on with them on this field. I'm worried about myself. And that's the mindset that you got to have, you know, when you're in the league like that. If you want to be consistent and you really, truly want to make it, you can't be so much worried about other people. You got to worry about yourself.
And that's the thing. There are quarterbacks out there that are good examples of guys like Josh McCown seem to always be a prime, like, hey, we got a rookie quarterback, come get a job and help this guy along. Like, I think Case Keenum has done that in the second half of his career. You know, he got injured in Houston. They kept him around just to be around C.J. Stroud. Where is he now? He's in Chicago trying to help Caleb Williams along. There are some guys that accept that. That is not Joe Flacco. And it doesn't mean that he's not in that room when Shedeur or Dylan have a question and for him not to be like, okay, I do it this way or I see it this way. But like he said, when he's out there, he's laser focused on what's going on. And I'm not blaming him for that frustration, right? Because then it's downplaying his role in this whole thing. But my quick little take on hearing that was an Uber level confidence of, this is my job.
Oh, yeah.
This is my job. These guys are fighting for my job out here, but I'm the starter. And, you know, I got in a conversation with somebody yesterday about this because a lot of people are wondering. It's actually a coinky-dink of a comparison to the Ohio State Buckeyes that we'll get to later of, like, when are you going to name your starting quarterback, you know? And I don't frankly think either team is in a rush, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I was talking to somebody yesterday. They go, oh, well, to your point, Tyvis, about next week and getting ready to go for the third game and all that. Somebody swore to me yesterday. I was like, the Browns are going to name their starter next week. And I was like, no. The Browns love nothing more than waiting till the last minute. And if they could wait an hour before the Bengals game, like, that's what they would wait to announce their starter. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Get everybody to prepare for all three or four quarterbacks.
Dude, they love that.
But I think at this point, it's kind of a foregone conclusion that Joe is probably going to be the guy. Yeah. So, and again, another thing about these guys getting hurt in this training camp is that, you know, once the regular season starts, it ain't a lot of rotating reps at quarterback. Like, this was huge for those young guys to get a lot of those reps. So it's unfortunate that they all got hurt.
We got Clip That coming up. We're going to hear from Paul Feinbaum because you know he had a take on the AP poll, who was too high, who was too low, and a little pushback from Heather Dinich. We get to all of it coming up in just 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
We are noticing a new crash this time for folks over in the downtown area. 71, that northbound ramp to 670, and that westbound direction is currently closed right now completely. And travel times in this area not looking too good right now. We're looking at 21 miles per hour. Again, it is completely closed, folks. Lots of crew members on scene, first responders, firefighters, and it looks like a motorcycle is involved in this crash. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Alvizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, trips to a first-round postseason game, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
I'm Brent, and I've been on Nutrafol for almost 5 years now. I like Nutrafol because it was a hair growth supplement that was completely drug-free. After 3 months, my hair got stronger and thicker, which gave a huge boost to my social life. I mean, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/MEN. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Real customers were compensated to share their stories.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
Don't be too shocked by this screening, but Ohio State is too high, and Heather, calm down. Alabama is too low. I really think Alabama is a serious national championship contender, and I don't get Ohio State at all, Greeny. I know they won the national championship last year. That has nothing to do with it. They don't have the same team, and that national championship hangover is going to get to them, so we'll take care of it. We'll see that in about 2.5 weeks when Texas gets up there and walks out of that stadium a winner.
That was Paul Feinbaum on Sportsmanlike. He didn't like the Buckeyes. I mean... Are we shocked by that? That's kind of how that goes. Clip it right here on Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontana, Tyvis Powell alongside this morning here on The Fan. And, you know, Tyvis, it's hard because I kind of understand what Paul Feinbaum is saying there. And I get that you want to poke holes in the Buckeyes. But if you're going to poke holes in the Buckeyes, then I can give you 4 other teams that are in the top 25 or even in the top 10 specifically. So, well, they had a lot of turnover and they had this. And there's a real shocking stat that we'll get into the show a little bit later about basically rookie quarterbacks, first-year starters, first-time starters that have won the national championship. It happens a lot more than you think. So I get that you want to sit there and circle quarterback, right? You lost your national championship starting quarterback. Completely understand that. You're replacing that running back room. You lost some key pieces on defense, sure. But I also sit there and say, you're not turning this over to just some guy. You know, like I get the battles going on between Lincoln Kienholz and Julian Sayin. I think it's going to be Sayin. That guy was a 5-star prospect. He was at Alabama. Like, he's not just some guy walking through the door to take this over. Like, I just, you know, I get where Paul's coming from. It's easy to pick on Ohio State. It's easy to circle them and say, oh, yeah, they're always too high. But just to go with this team is a little too inexperienced. Like, they're still bringing back a few guys that won a national championship from a year ago.
First of all, I'm going to just be frank with you. Paul lost his mind. He has lost his mind. For him to sit there and have the audacity to say that Ohio State should be lower and Alabama should be higher. Last I remember, Alabama lost to the Wolverines, and they had all their starters, and the Wolverines played no starters.
Are they breaking in a new quarterback? Did they just not name a new quarterback? Okay, I just want to check that. Thank you very much.
So, and then on top of that, they struggle in the SEC. They're not. This isn't Nick Saban's Alabama like that.
Right.
That
yes.
Clearly last year showed you that. So they got some things they need to figure out. So 8th is being generous if we really want to be honest.
Oh,
with
man.
you. We're being generous with 8th. I say all that to say none of this matters anyway. Paul should know. He's been doing this for all these years. He should know that all of this is irrelevant anyways because it's going to change in the first 3 weeks anyways. Like this whole thing is going to shift around after 3 weeks of football play. So it's irrelevant. Now, to say Ohio State doesn't deserve it because they lost their quarterback, okay, they still have, if I remember correctly, they have the best offensive player in college football and the best defensive player in college football.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I'm confused on that. Yes, they have to reload at some different positions for sure. And you can talk about some key positions as far as quarterback, as defensive line. I can hear you on all those things. But their offensive line is probably going to be one of the best in the country. They have the best wide receiving core probably in the country. They have probably arguably the best tight end in the country. They got arguably the best secondary in the country. And their linebackers is both probably going to be high draft picks. Well, Arvell Reese got probably another year or so. But Sonny, with his versatility, he's probably going to be a nice high round draft pick. So I don't understand his angle on saying like Ohio State is like done. Like that makes no sense to me. Like you got to let the whole thing play out. So Paul has lost his mind.
Dude, I poked a hole in. How are you going to bring this one specific thing up about Ohio State and then just completely disregard it for Alabama? And the other thing, if we really want to dive into just the comparison between Alabama and Ohio State, this is going to come off as some really bad shot, and I don't mean it to be, but it is what it is. How dare you compare Ryan Day to Kalen DeBoer? What are we doing here? Ryan Day has his championship. If he, I already know. Go to the Michigan card. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. Like these are not comparable things. And I know what Kalen DeBoer did at Washington was great in turning that program around. Now, like Tyvis, I really think he's on a hot seat already down there.
Oh,
in Tuscaloosa this season.
If they miss the CFP,
it's over.
Yeah,
we're done.
I don't know what his buyout is, but I would imagine they're going to pay it.
They'll find some donor to get $300 million.
Matt, to your point earlier, and Josh Pate kind of made this point when he was on our show a couple of weeks ago, it's like what team, let's say top 8 because Alabama's top 8, what team in the top 8 doesn't have a question mark? Texas is breaking in a new quarterback, even though it is my guy, Arch Manning. He's still unproven. Penn State has the James Franklin thing, and I feel like the national media is just assuming that Drew Aller is going to take a step forward, but that's an assumption. OSU, we already know they have, 15 new starters. Clemson, I'm hearing, is very top-heavy, but not maybe as deep as the other teams. Georgia questions at quarterback. Notre Dame questions at quarterback. Oregon questions at quarterback. So it's not like there's any of the top 8 teams that you're like, oh, yeah, they're a bona fide great team to start the season. We're going to have to see how it plays out. There's no great team going into the season, just a bunch of very good ones.
And there's some, again, I was getting ready for this actually yesterday. We were talking about John Mater and then all the transfers and all some of these guys coming back. And I just go, I'd rather actually have Julian Saint. You want some fifth-year guy? God, who was it? Oh, there was a list. It was the top quarterbacks, and they were running through, and they had, of course, Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik and, one of the guys that transferred, and he had to get the eligibility. The Vanderbilt kid. The kid that went to Vanderbilt, and he had to petition to get an extra year of eligibility from the NCAA.
Oh, Diego Pavia.
That's it, Pavia. Yeah. Thank you. Because he was higher on this list than the Ohio State quarterback. And they didn't list one, but they just said higher than the Ohio State quarterback. No offense to him. I'd rather have Julian Saint or Lincoln Kienholz over him. Like, just because you're there and have experience doesn't mean that you're better than some, again, freshman, rookie, first-year starter, whatever you want to call it. So, yes, is that a situation that probably you'd like to avoid of having a multiple-year starter in there? Sure, but I will just go back to 5-star recruiting. I will go back to your point, Tyvis, the rest of this offense that is just completely loaded, that's going to have multiple All-Americans on it by the end of the season. And at the end of the day, you have the most dynamic football player on the offensive side of the ball in Jeremiah Smith. Is it always going to be just as easy as, go find him, just get him the football? No, but you can defer to that. You can look back on that and say, well, if we got something going here, if we really need something, we'll go find Jeremiah Smith on that field and get him the football. And he brought up a great point too, Tyvis, that offensive line. We've all been reading on what they're doing. Daniels and Schriefeld, they're going to move him over to left tackle now. And just as you move it all around, but I have uber confidence that offensive line is going to be just fine. Is it going to be ready to go for the Texas game? Well, I hope so. But just remembering, too, you got plenty of football to play after that one as well.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm sitting here. All I know is if Ohio State wins that first game, I can't wait. Is Paul still doing a weekly show on Bishop and Friends?
It's super popular.
I will definitely be tuning in to hear what he has to say if the Buckeyes
Well, things will
beat Texas.
change at that point.
Oh, I know. He got to keep that same energy. See, the thing about being in the media like he is and having the name and the status is people keep receipts. These things called receipts. And they will keep that same energy that you've been having about Alabama.
Well, he said he's moving out of the country if the SEC doesn't win the national championship
they're
this
going to
year.
harass him out of the country.
He's ready for retirement anyway. Of course, on the way out the door, I'll leave now if you're there. But to each their own. And well, I guess this might be the year that I would probably maybe pick the SEC, but I'm going to take the Buckeyes to go back-to-back anyway. That's how it goes. To the pro game we go. Jerry Jones, he said the thing out loud that he probably shouldn't have said, but he said the thing that he's actually trying to do because he admitted he wants the Cowboys in the news. You got it again, Jer. We'll hear from him. We'll get some Micah Parsons worked into that. It's all coming up here. T-Bone and Tyvis this morning on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there. Well, we do have a crash that is now clearing up this time. That is some great news here, especially for a Thursday commute. All of this happening over in the downtown area. 71, that northbound ramp to 670 westbound was closed for a good portion of our morning here because of a motorcyclist that spun out in this area. Thankfully, they are expected to be okay. They have been taken to the hospital. Again, this ramp is starting to reopen, though. That's some great news here. Not too bad when it comes to your slowdowns. Just be extra cautious of extra crew members in the area. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Victor's Home Solutions. Schedule your free 21-point roof and window inspection today at victors.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And there was a time I dreaded getting out of bed in the morning. I dreaded doing my workouts. I dreaded trying to carry my kids around because nothing felt good. My knee was bothering me. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that are going through the same thing. Years of sports or abuse or whatever it is on your body is taking its toll. Do not wait any longer. There is a treatment protocol that doesn't require surgery, doesn't require pills. It's going to repair and restore the joint tissue itself. We're talking about natural cellular therapies with my friends over at QC Kinetics. I checked them out. My dad checked them out. No long recovery, just the relief that you need. You can bring your x-rays, your MRIs to QC Kinetics for free. There's no pressure. The chat, they're going to evaluate you, look at you, lay out a protocol to see if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor-quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday morning starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Your home for football, food, and fun. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So we all thought and had the idea that Jerry Jones would just do crazy stuff to get the Cowboys on the TV or get Stephen A. Smith all riled up. He finally admitted it, though. He said the thing we didn't know if he'd ever say. And the Cowboys are one of the most valuable franchises, really in the world, but certainly in North America. So I guess he must be doing something right. He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontana this morning with you on T-Bone and Tyvis. Check us out on the YouTube side of things, of course, at 971 The Fan for all the shows there and the podcast. You get it anywhere your podcasts are available. So yesterday, Jerry was at a premiere. They have like a documentary coming out. And he was talking to the media, doing some media availability. And, of course, he's been in front of the media so much times with this Micah Parsons thing and, saying he's like, well, I don't know if Mike is going to play for us by week 1 or just all the weird things that Jerry says. But he finally admitted what we all had a pretty good idea about. Yeah, he brings stuff up just to keep the Cowboys in the news. Here's Jerry Jones from yesterday.
I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The beautiful thing for networks or, if you will, streaming companies is that the NFL is a 365-day-a-year interest factor. A lot of programming, you have to spend as much to make it, to promote it, as you do to make it. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days.
The screening will begin
when it gets low, I'll start.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players, but there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion, and if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
He's not wrong. I'm not saying that he's not wrong, Tyvis, and we know that's why the NFL has become one of the most popular leagues. It is certainly North America. I think maybe soccer only rivals it on the national, in the international stage. But, why don't you just have a good football team, Jerry? Why is it got to be about, Micah Parsons or paying Dak Prescott? If the Cowboys were the Eagles, and I make that comparison just because they're in the same division, they're probably the closest that you could get to. If you were that, We were talking about you all the time, and then I stopped myself, and I got to counter my own point with this, Tyvis. The Browns are in Philly. They're camping. They're practicing against the Eagles. The lead was Shedeur Sanders. Sal Palantonio, who's longest tenured NFL reporters out there. He covers the Eagles. He was on ESPN. They were asking about Shedeur Sanders. And I get that it's preseason, and during the season that might not be the case. You'll be focused on the Eagles, what's going on with Jalen Hurts, and whatever. But it's like, is Jerry right? Is Jerry right to sit there and say, if we're not getting talked about, that's a bad thing, and I'll do what I need to do to get them talked about? Because if I was trying to be a Cowboys fan, I'd be screaming that. Dude, put a good team on the field. Make the playoffs every year, and then we'll focus on that. But frankly, I kind of get where Jerry's coming from in this whole thing.
So this is the thing with Jerry, and this with fans, they're not going to want to hear this. And I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but this is the part that you have to realize. This is the harsh reality when it comes to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a businessman.
Yes.
The Cowboys is a business for Jerry. So Jerry is about it. Maybe it's necessarily not about winning for him. I don't know. It's about making money for him. Like, that's what this whole thing, because he invested all of his time and money into it. So he wants his return on his investment. He wants to make as much money as possible. Now, obviously, if the team is good, that helps with the situation. But Jerry Jones is a businessman. Like, he's going to do things just to help bring more business, more eyeballs, and more attention to the Dallas Cowboys. My father, Denzel Washington, went on First Take and had this whole rant about how he said he's not with us. He don't care about us, as in because he's a Cowboys fan. So he don't care about us. He hadn't been to the show, so he wouldn't know, and all money ain't good money. It was all his quotes, which was really good. I think Dylan got the sound. You got it, Dylan?
You got it?
There's box office.
Yeah.
And there's Oscars. Jerry. Been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Ooh.
Wouldn't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Uh-oh.
Haven't been to the show, so you wouldn't know what it is to win.
So, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, the whole idea, conspiracy theory, if you will, but that Jerry runs the league. Everybody, like, that's just been the idea, right? That, yeah, you got Goodell, but we all know Goodell works for the owners. Who are some of the most powerful owners? And I'm not talking about just dollar amount, right? Like, David Tepper's got a lot of money. Stan Kroenke's got a lot of money. It's Robert Kraft, it's Jerry Jones, right? Those are the guys that are always viewed as the ones that actually run the league. And I subscribe to that. Now, whether that's right or wrong, and especially with Jerry trying to, not only owning the Cowboys, but like pseudo kind of running the NFL, but then he's his own general manager. He is the old guy picking players and having to sit down with Micah Parsons without his agent and trying to get some deal done and doing shady stuff and like, oh yeah, we got a deal done. We're like, your agent's not here. Like, what's going on, right? Jerry's got all that going on, and it's, he's not 55 years old anymore, right? Like, it's going to get tougher as it goes. And that's where, if I was a Cowboys fan, I understand where he's coming from, but his priorities seem out of whack. His priorities, and I think it's what Denzel Washington's talking about exactly. Are you there to sell tickets? Are you there? Do you want to go make an Avengers movie that's going to make $1 bajillion? Do you want to go make a movie that's going to be an Oscar nom, right? Those things usually can't happen back and forth. Obviously, at this point, which I think leans towards what? The league making more money. It's all about the league trying to make as much money as they can. I don't want to say the NFL doesn't care who wins the championship, because I think they always do. But they're worried about what's their next media deal and how much, they are talked about in all these other networks. They got a piece of ESPN now. They sell off Red Zone and NFL Network and all that. That's really what they care about. And I think that's where Jerry's focus is more, which is not a right or wrong thing. But, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're going to be ticked off about that. I get it.
But the thing about Jerry or being paid by the Cowboys is, what I don't like is, like, a guy like Dak Prescott. Like, he gets paid, and this whole entire offseason, it's just been nothing but shots taken at him. Just been nothing but shots. So it's like, dude, like, you going to pay me, but you're not about to sit here and just keep, like, dogging me and taking these shots at me in the media like that. Like if I was a player, like why would I want to deal with that? Like I get it.
I thought Jerry was taking shots at CeeDee Lamb, Tyvis. Like there were some strays that CeeDee Lamb caught. He talks bad about Trevon Diggs and like, oh, we paid a guy, then he got hurt. Oh, gee, who are you talking about? Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like I don't know what Jerry's end game really is in this whole thing, or if he's at this point of just like, I don't give a blank. Right? We all hear about it. Tyvis and I are younger guys, so we're not there yet. But we all hear about that when you reach that I don't give a blank age, and maybe he's finally done it. Good for him, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. While running the Cowboys, while kind of pseudo-running the NFL. But I don't think he's wrong in saying that he wants the Cowboys in the news, and obviously it's worked because they're worth so much money, and he's got the NFL talked about, and maybe he's just got to put it on extra because it's the preseason. You know, he doesn't need to do this in the middle of October. Football's cooking. We're going here. Now, maybe a little lull, and also don't forget they just closed this deal with ESPN. Maybe they got something else cooking, and they just need a little uptick in the discussion or in the numbers there to get something else done. We'll have to remain and see. We got plenty coming up in hour number 2, including some high praise for one Jeremiah Smith. That's not the last Ohio State wide receiver that we're going to talk about. And what's the biggest challenge facing every team in the AFC? We'll keep it on the AFC North, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens. What's the biggest issue you see them having this season coming up? We got all that for you coming up here on T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, we are still watching a crash for folks over on the west side right now. This is happening just west of West Jefferson. 42, that ramp just off of 70 in that westbound direction, is currently restricted right now. Looks like a semi was involved in this crash. Thankfully, though, police and tow trucks are on scene working to help clear the situation pretty soon here. Just be very mindful. Folks still working the scene this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money is always doing something.
Like what?
Like automatically pushing more to savings so you can take that trip.
I like trips.
Who doesn't? It even tracks your progress. You're almost there.
Well, I better pack.
And it charts your spending so you know which vacation hat you can afford.
How does it know I like hats?
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the things we constantly hear from customers, Wilson, it's impossible to pick a favorite. We've got 5 different window lines here at Pella, for the $300,000 to the $3 million home.
Yep, impossible to pick a favorite. My parents would always say that.
Oh, Wilson, that's so sweet.
Yeah, other than I'm an only child.
Oh. Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino.
Mikey, it's time for the ultimate fan experience. You could win tickets to the big home team game.
Legal?
Oh, legal.
Oh, illegal.
Legal. Against a team that wears orange on August 30th.
It all goes down Thursday, August 28th from 6 to 7. All you have to do is use your Penn Play card or the Penn Play app during the month of August.
And you can win a bunch of other prizes as well. The more you play, the more opportunities you have to win.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambler.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Shedeur Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HendeurMotorCompany.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
My name is Shedeur Sanders. I'm the co-founder of Nutrafol. My hair started thinning in my early 20s. I tried everything, and nothing was really working. So we created Nutrafol. Our hair growth supplements undergo clinical trials and have helped millions of men and women get visibly thicker and stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Dylan Gonzalez. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders injured an oblique yesterday morning, according to the team, and was held out of the first day of joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles. Further medical testing and examination revealed an oblique strain. Sanders is considered day-to-day, won't practice today, and is unlikely to play in the preseason game versus the Eagles on Saturday. And the Cleveland Guardians lost at home to the Miami Marlins by a final score of 13-4 last night. The rubber match will take place tonight. First pitch is at 6:40. And finally, the Cincinnati Reds blanked the Philadelphia Phillies 8-0. Miguel Andujar broke the game open with a grand slam in the 7th, and Hunter Green pitched 6 strong innings en route to the victory. The Redlegs will have today off, but will start a series with the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow. This update was sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
As we just keep counting down to Ohio State, Texas, we get to see Jeremiah Smith back on a football field, and there's been plenty of praise for the Ohio State just sophomore Tyvis, which is just the craziest part of all this, is that he was just a freshman a year ago where he went off for 1,300 yards, 16 combined touchdowns as he gets ready to go for year 2. And there's already some really high praise for him, including potentially going down as one of the best. We head over to CBS Sports. This is T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontaine and Tyvis Powell. Hey, reminder, Paul Feinbaum is on the Fan today. He's joining Bo at 10:30. So we were talking about Paul a little bit earlier about his take on Unsportsmanlike, about how, or actually it might have been SportsCenter, but just how he didn't buy in Ohio State's AP ranking because he thinks they have a lot of overturn and they have a new quarterback, yet he wanted Alabama pushed up because they have all the same things. But anyway, we'll find that out. I'll be tuned to that. 10:30 this morning with Bishop and Friends. Paul Feinbaum is joining Bo, so I can't wait. I know Bo's going to ask him about a Tyvis, and I'm very interested to hear hopefully a little bit more of an explanation from Paul this morning, you know?
I just want to hear, does he double down on if the SEC doesn't win a championship this year, is he leaving the country? I need to hear him. I want Bo to make him double down on it.
All right, we're going to get to Jeremiah Smith in a minute. You make that proclamation that you're going to leave the country. Do you accept Canada? Or are you talking about, like, you need to move to, like, the Amazon forest in South America?
No,
like,
I accept Canada. As long as it's not U.S.
It's not the United States.
Yes.
Okay, so
He
Canada's
doesn't seem like the Canada type to me, though.
Where do you think he would go?
I have no idea. Like maybe some Caribbean island.
We need Bo to ask him this question.
You're telling me that you don't picture Paul Feinbaum in, like, a flannel floppy ear hat. You know those hats I'm talking about, right? They got the front flap and the ear flaps.
Yeah.
They're like, they have the insulation on the inside and then they're flannel. Like, I think Paul has the perfect face and head shape for one of those hats. I think he'd just seamlessly, like, slide into Canadian culture, Dylan. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, when I think about people saying they're going to leave the country, the first person that comes to my mind is Rosie O'Donnell. And I don't think she ever came back. So she kept her word. I think Paul needs to keep his.
That's fine. Good for him. If that's how it's going to go. Putting all his stock into unproven quarterbacks that he's not going to Ohio State for. I guess you want to put all the eggs in Garrett Nussmeier's basket, but here we are.
He better hope Arch Manning is who they think he is.
That's
that's who he's tying his wagon to is Arch and Texas.
That's fine. Hitch his wagon there. So, of course, with Ohio State and Texas being the first game, he's got to take a little shot at the Buckeyes to play a little mental warfare. Like, I see your game, Paul Feinbaum. I see what you're doing. That's all right. We'll see how it goes. But we will see Jeremiah Smith back on the field. And getting ready to go, CBS Sports has tagged him as the preseason player of the year. And then CBS college football analyst Damian Harris said that he believes that Smith can go down as one of the best ever at that position. Now, we will get to our best Ohio State wide receivers coming up on list that, but I wanted to bring this up, Tyvis, because I have to do this to myself sometimes, where the excitement that I have for Jeremiah Smith and what I think it's going to be, like, that guy had one of the most incredible freshman years that you could ever imagine. Like I said, 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns, and they won the national championship. Like, it's hard for me. I can't put him. I can't put that on him again. I just can't do that. As I'm looking forward to the season, and I think Ohio State's going to be competitive, and I think they can make another run at a national championship. Like, I don't want to do that to Jeremiah Smith and put all these expectations on him. But then I also tell myself, okay, well, you're not going to enjoy it as much, and I got to tell myself, this guy's special. This guy is that special. Like, don't be afraid to do that because he can handle it, and he might even have a better season than he did as a freshman.
Well, he's got a lot of attention going to be on him. And I think the difference between last year's season and this year's season is that early on in the season, he wasn't the guy that everybody was, like, looking at. You know, obviously he came on the scene and people really started to adjust, but it really wasn't until the CFP where guys really started to try to adjust for him. You know, the regular season, he had a lot of one-on-ones and he just made a lot of spectacular plays. So I think the difference in this season is, you best believe, I don't care what's going on. Yeah. If number 4 is on the field, you got 4 eyes on number 4 at all times. It's got to be 2 people. Like, it's a mandatory double team on number 4. And I'm just interested to see how he's able to handle those things. You know, he can't go through a whole season and let people do what Texas did. You know, what was it, 1 catch, 3 yards or something like that? Like, you can't have those type of games for 12 games. Obviously, it's going to make it hard on the Buckeyes, and it'll be one of those things that, the Buckeyes will still find a way to win, but you're not utilizing your best player. And if you really want to be great, considered like a great wide receiver, they figure out how to beat those type of double teams and still are able to have success. So that's the level that he has to take it to this year, is when teams are double teaming him or triple teaming him, how is he still able to find a way to get open and get the ball and still be effective in game?
What do you guys think of his Heisman chances?
So I think they should be way higher. And that's crazy to say that there's only 3 guys ahead of him and they're all quarterbacks. Like, that's where my bet's going, guys. Like, 100%, because I don't mean to turn into this person, and I'm not, but I'll poke holes in all of them, right? Number one, Garrett Nussmeier, already dealing with knee problems. Like, okay, you're telling me he's going to play every game, which I think should be a near requirement for the Heisman. Like, Arch, they lost a lot of talent on that Texas team. And, again, we'll find out in the first game, and certainly we'll see how the season goes. But, like, you know, Bond and Golden's all gone. And then Klubnik, okay, it's Clemson. Like, what's your level of competition there in the ACC? Like, all that. Like, I'm just going to poke a hole on all three of those guys that are ahead of him. I don't know, Tyvis. I like Jeremiah Smith for the Heisman. I do.
No, I mean, it's obviously it's hard to do it, but he definitely can get it done. You think about when Marv was here, Marv finished, third or something like that in the Heisman? But Marv was a direct reason why the Buckeyes were winning games. Like, they literally found Marv, gave him the ball, and he was literally winning games. I go back and I look at a guy like Devontae Smith, who was the last receiver to win the Heisman. His Heisman year, he had 1,856 yards, 23 touchdowns on 117 receptions. And I think about a guy like JJ. It's going to be very hard to be able to pull those numbers when teams is triple teaming you or double teaming you on the entire year. Like, Devontae Smith had Jalen Waddle and stuff like that with him. So, like, it was hard to just single him out, and he was able to have a good season. If you're literally the guy, like the guy that they got, like, when coming into the game, you are number one on the list of, we got to stop this guy.
Well, and
it's going to be hard to put them type of numbers up.
And especially and this isn't a shot at Peoples or Donaldson or Bo Jackson or anything, but, like, you don't have Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins running the football. So it's twofold, where you'd say your best Jeremiah Smith was your best player last year too, but, like, no question about it, the offense should run through him. Where last year you could run the football, and you tried to run the football. This year, you might not have that balance, but you could go to him more, and then that's where I think about Carnell Tate and Brandon Inniss and certainly Max Clare on what else is going to get opened up for him, from Jeremiah Smith. So I get it, and I do think the problem that he's also going to have to overcome is this. The Heisman is inevitably a popularity contest. Like, you got to have the numbers. You also have to have that signature win, which I think if Arch beats Ohio State, like, sprint to that Heisman window and try to say him, because you got to have that. Nussmeier's got that opportunity. That's where Klubnik for me, and I know Clemson's got some massive games out there, but I don't think they, is it enough to overcome some of the other big ones you might get out of those guys. But I think the hype is already there for the quarterbacks, so that's yet another hurdle that Jeremiah Smith is going to have to overcome if he wants to get into that Heisman race. He's going to be a finalist. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a finalist. I hope he can get it done. And, hey, he doesn't this year. He's got one more opportunity for it next year, one way or another. Speaking of wide receivers, we're going to run through that on our listed coming up, our top 5 Ohio State wide receivers of all time. I have some controversy with mine. I'll explain it all coming up here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Thursday morning. Well, we are noticing a few crashes over on our west side, especially mixing in with some foggy conditions. The road's not looking too good this morning. One of those spots at 70 westbound, just past Hilliard to Rome Road South. A right shoulder currently blocked there. And again, drive time's not looking too good, especially with all the fog and lower visibility in this area. Looking especially in this spot at 3 miles of visibility. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa, Next Level Wellness, medical grade IV drips, NAD+, and so much more. 4 locations in Columbus. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
Stanley spent his life in the saddle, wrangling whatever life threw at him. But nothing prepared him for the fight against low T and ED. Shane practically hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He begged for a lifeline.
Well, maybe it's over.
Columbus Men's Clinic said no. Medical conditions, old age, there's hope. This is about real treatments. Science, not one-size-fits-all guesswork. Columbus Men's Clinic was designed for men who hate going to the doctor. Personalized plans, cutting-edge treatments, overseen by an actual medical provider that takes the time to listen. With low T and ED treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Because every second you wait, your condition could worsen. Act now. Don't let time slip away. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is only $99, including blood work. and you'll know your tea level before you leave. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Save a good deal more on fresh family favorites this week at Meijer. Locally grown blueberries are 3 pints for $5. Fresh from Meijer Family Pack chicken drumsticks are $1.29 per pound. Select Kellogg cereal 3 for $6 when you buy 3 or more. And select Coca-Cola, Pepsi, 7-Up, or Dr. Pepper 12-pack cans are buy 2, get 1 free. Plus deposit where applicable. Getting a good deal more on the quality foods your family loves and deserves. That's the good life at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get it Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and Columbus football is back. And what better way to kick off the season than driving home in a tough, reliable 2024 Toyota Tacoma from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, get 0% APR for up to 72 months with 20% down, or lease it for $239 a month for 36 months for 10,000 miles per year with $29.99 due at signing. Head to Germain Toyota of Columbus today on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Your home for great deals all season long.
It's your lucky day because at Speedway, there's a $5,000 winner every single day. All you do is shop with Speedy Rewards. Then play the in-app game for a chance to win $5,000 in cash. So you could win $5K today, or the next day, or the next day, or the next. Okay, you get it. New daily cash winners only at Speedway. Are you next? No purchase necessary. Ends 1/6/26 USDC 16 plus. For official rules and free gameplay, go to 5k-a-day.com/rules.
Join the fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show.
And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State,
yes, it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start off the day with some clouds, although there could be some patchy dense fog, so safe travels in those spots. Otherwise, upper 60s, turning into upper 80s this afternoon. Minimal chances of rain. Most of us will have mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, mostly clear with our lows a little bit cooler down into the upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Every time Tyvis laughs, take a drink. Just kidding. You'd be dead in 30 seconds. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
That early in the morning, Tyvis, they want people drinking that much? I mean, I guess it could be caught.
Well, they say sometimes some of the things I say, you're going to need a drink. So there you go.
I mean, it gets the people going. That's what you want to do early in the morning. That's certainly what you guys do on T-Bone and Tyvis. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week. One of the staples of the show. You guys do it every Thursday. I love it. It's time to list it.
The best, the worst, and sometimes even the dumbest. It's all here on the list.
So we go through our list, top 5. Today's topic, gentlemen, Ohio State wide receivers. So I love it. We've been talking Jeremiah Smith. All right, ready for my controversy. I did not put him on my list because It's only been a season.
You're kidding yourself.
I know. And it was like the debate was on about like talent or my favorite Ohio State wide receivers. Jeremiah Smith is already one of my favorites, and he will move in the top 5. I just did my top 5 favorite. My favorite Ohio State wide receiver.
I don't know why Dylan did this. I don't know why you picked this.
This is the hardest list I think we've ever done.
Why would you do? It's impossible. It's impossible to get 5 correct.
I wanted there to be people out there to say that we're dumb regardless of what we say.
Well, dude, you can't do 5. Like, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, like, Garrett Wilson's not on my list.
Garrett Wilson's not on my list.
He's not on mine either, and it hurts.
Jigba, Chris Olave. Like, I went with my listen, anybody, I'm already telling everybody who's going to yell at me now. Yell at Dylan. Tyvis and I didn't do this. Tyvis and I did not do this. He did this, okay? So I prefaced mine by saying that these are just my favorite wide receivers. And it doesn't mean I didn't like Chris Olave or Jackson Smith-Njigba, or I don't like Jeremiah Smith. I do. These are just my guys, Tyvis. This is how I did. So I'll start at number 5. And it's funny that when I first started here on The Fan, I initially was told that I would be doing a show with this gentleman. My first show was supposed to be with him, and then he had a scheduling issue. I was a big Dane Sanzenbacher fan growing, and I would say growing up because he's my age. He's literally my age.
Yeah.
But like one of my I don't say height of Ohio State fandom because I'm still very much a fan. I was a big Dane Sanzenbacher fan, so he's at my number 5, Tyvis.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Number 5. This is. Why would this?
Why, Dylan? Why?
I don't understand it. I don't understand why you thought this. Were you trying to be cute this morning? Like, this makes no sense.
He wants the clips.
I thought this was so terrible of an idea that it would be a good one.
He's trying to go viral.
All right, first, my honorable mention, and it's a shame.
I didn't get. Wait. I gave you.
I
did say I had honorable.
My honorable mention, and it's a shame because this guy shouldn't be an honorable mention. Like, he shouldn't be. But I'm gonna do it because I'm trying to make this list as like real as possible. I tried like really hard. Honorable mention for me was Ted Ginn. Sorry, it's Ted Ginn. I know. I get it. I love Ted. I love Ted. But I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go off of impact and statistics and stuff like that. I'm trying to do it by the numbers.
Sure.
So number 5 for me is David Boston.
Yeah, can't deny that. That.
I'm also sweating right now because
go ahead.
Ted Ginn isn't on my list, and I didn't even put him as as my honorable mentions either. My honorable mentions are Chris Carter and Terry Glenn. They're not in my list, and I was like, what am I doing? My number 5 is
just everybody remember that Ted Ginn was an honorable mention and a number 5 because obviously you know where I put him. But go on, Dylan, please.
My number 5 is the all-time leader in receiving yards and national champion Michael Jenkins. I feel like his longevity, along with the national championship ring, he deserved to be on the list.
He is not the receiving yard. No, he's not.
He's not?
Emeka.
No, he's second.
Yeah, he's second now.
Michael Jenkins had 2,898, and Abuka had 2,868.
You're talking about single season or career?
Career.
On this, it says on Sports Reference, it says that Emeka Abuka has,
maybe
has
it's because I'm looking on the very reliable Wikipedia. Maybe one of them added the postseason yards. And one of them didn't.
I'm sure, yeah.
Maybe.
But either way.
I mean, the president said, your all-time leader, Emeka Abuka.
Okay.
If not, Michael Jenkins was the receiving yards leader for over 20 years. So I thought he deserved to be on the list.
He deserved to be on the list. All right, number 4 was a guy that I loved watching at Ohio State because I loved his story. He was a special teamer. He's gritty, and this man needs a new contract. That is Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, at number 4 for me.
Okay, I respect that. Shout out to Terry.
I just there was something about his game, man. And again, my list is more about my favorite 5. receivers. I just loved watching Terry. I still love him. I've talked about getting him to the Cleveland Browns. I would love nothing more than that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see the success that he's had in the pros, but I love Terry McLaurin.
I love Terry, too. Terry is one of those hard-working guys that grind to get where he was. Number 4 for me, I went with the guy who caught the most touchdowns in Ohio State history, and that's Chris Olave.
Yes. Very, very good. If you can get all those concussions, man, I hope there's a way for it. Number 4, Dylan.
Number 4 for me, I put JSN there, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, I just think about that Utah Rose Bowl game where he had the record for most catches in a game and most receiving yards, I believe. And then he caught 15 balls again the following season against Nebraska. I think when it comes to being a game breaker, JSN might be the best wide receiver to ever do it at Ohio State, but he's my number 4 overall.
Number 3 for me is Michael Thomas. I just he was such a good player.
Oh, man.
He had everything that you would ever want in a receiver. Let me guess, you left him off your list.
He's not on my list.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, all right.
It's crazy. So it's my teammate. He ain't on my list.
Really?
Well, you went off of your favorite.
I went off my favorite.
I was trying to go off of like statistics.
So
and
like
things
honestly,
like
and I'm not trying to do this to like give myself a pass or whatever. Like I didn't put Terry Glenn and David Boston on it because like I didn't really watch them play. Like these are my era of receivers and my favorite ones. So that's why I'm glad we can have a little difference in our whole thing. But I put Michael Thomas there at number 3 for you.
Don't feel bad. Blame Dylan for even having us do this exercise. Number 3 for me, I put Chris Carter. I can't believe that Dylan don't even.
He was in my honorable mentions.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, man, like Chris Carter was that guy. Like, yeah. So Chris Carter's number 3 for me.
Number 3 for me is David Boston. He had a lot of the records in a era that didn't really pass, so I feel like his numbers are maybe more impressive than any of the other wide receivers. So David Boston at number 3 for me.
All right, number 2 for me in the receivers list, it's got to be Marv. To have the hype that is, I think Jeremiah Smith's got a little more hype, but Marv backed up all the hype that you had about him when he came to Ohio State. He did everything that you thought he was going to be able to do. Marv Harrison Jr. is my number 2.
Yeah, we finally agree on something because I got Marv at number 2 as well. I mean, Marv was sensational. I mean, best player in the country, in my personal opinion. The way he directly won Ohio State games single-handedly sometimes like that. Yeah, Marv was that guy.
Marv is also at my number 2.
Wow,
so we got a consensus at number 2.
Look at that. Marv all around at number 2. So obviously I think we're all going to be different on number 1.
Well, we know what your number 1 is.
How could you guys put Ted Ginn that far down? Ted Ginn is literally one of the best football players that this team has seen in the last 30 years. A just dynamic, electric wide receiver. Ted Ginn is my number 1. And I'll tell you, and this is nothing against Jeremiah, or obviously Marv's already done it at Ohio State. I don't know if there might not be anybody that overtakes Ted Ginn for me as the best, or my favorite receiver, not best, but my favorite receiver in Ohio State history. It's number 1, Ted Ginn, and I don't think anything will ever change that, Tyvis.
See, if we're going off of favorites, then Ted Ginn would be my favorite wide receiver.
There you go.
Well.
Okay.
But I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to go by the numbers.
We have different parameters.
Yeah, I'm trying to go by. I was trying to do this statistically by the numbers. Now, I say all that to say Jeremiah Smith's number 1, and it's not even close.
Fair enough.
If he duplicates his season, like right now, Jeremiah Smith is 30th in receiving yards. If he just doubles his season of his yards, what he had, 13, 15, if he doubles that, that will put him all the way in front of Marv Harrison at top 5. So, like, I think it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen if he has 2 more years of this.
Right.
So, I'd be shocked if he doesn't finish with either the most touchdowns or the most receiving yards.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith is my number 1 as well. It might be a little bit of a projection, but like Tyvis said, I think it's kind of inevitable. And to say he basically replaced Marvin Harrison Jr. and people were like, oh, yeah, we're not going to skip a beat still. Like, he was a freshman that came on the scene. It's not like he surprised anybody. Like, we knew he was coming, and he lived up to the hype, and I think he will continue to do so.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like Tyvis said, we still have 2 more years, which is crazy with Jeremiah Smith. All right, I have the list up. Just some other names. Devin Smith is top 6 all time. KJ Hill is top 10 all time in Ohio State receiving yards. DeVere Posey is up there. Brian Robisky, Paris Campbell, Doug Donnelly, D. Miller. Those are all some of the guys. Gary Williams way back in the day for the Buckeyes. But again, I like how we had different parameters for our list. I like it. We got a wide one, and Tyvis, like you said, man, that's an impossible list to do.
Yeah, Dill is wrong.
Because there's so
I don't know why he did this.
There's so many.
Because all it is people who are in the car right now yelling like, I can't believe you got him. Like, it's impossible to pick 5 and just say,
we didn't even mention Joey Galloway. None of us mentioned Joey Galloway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yelling, send it to him. Send the hate to him in the YouTube chat.
Antonio Holmes, Brian Robisky.
Yep.
Like, this is it's just impossible.
Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline, who was a great receiver. I think he's making out pretty good as a coach. But Brian Hartline, throw him on that list as well. All right, coming up, T-Bone and Tyvis this morning. The biggest challenges facing all the AFC North teams. We'll focus on the Browns. We'll focus on the Bengals. But there's a really interesting challenge for the Pittsburgh Steelers coming up. We'll get to that 2 minutes away right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, we are still closely monitoring a crash that is actually just clearing up over on the west side. This is west of West Jefferson this morning. 42, that ramp just off of 70 westbound in that direction is a little bit restricted this morning. Looks like a semi was involved. That has since left the scene thanks to a tow truck in the area, as well as police officers still noticing 2 cars involving emergency first responders, though, so make sure to take it nice and easy and nice and slow. Be very mindful of folks still in the area. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
2 men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So you're ready to go preseason action in the NFL. There's always challenges. There's always things you got to look at. And I think it's a really interesting list from CBS Sports. Jared Dubin did this, and the Steelers one has me kind of, finger on the mouth, kind of in the head, go, that's an interesting one. We'll get to that coming up. It is T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week. He, of course, Tyvis' pal. Mentioned earlier, Paul Feinbaum, 10:30 this morning on with Bishop and Friends. Paul already unhappy about where Ohio State was, so I'm sure we'll get more insight on that. Rothman and Ice today, they're going to have Adam King on as well, so looking forward to that all day right here on The Fan. So CBS Sports, every team's challenge, if you will, for the upcoming NFL season. We'll start here, close to home, Cincinnati Bengals. Tyvis, they bring up the defense. And I think it's obviously as they continue to circle what's going on with Trey Hendrickson, they've brought Al Golden in to fix that defense, or at least hopefully fix that defense. And I think that pressure has got to be so immense on the Bengals, because you don't want to sit there and say, yeah, we wasted years of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and those guys are paid like Chase Brown's on a cheap deal. You've kind of fixed up the offensive line a little bit. It really is just, can the defense do anything? And if they can, then that should be a Super Bowl contending team down there in Cincinnati.
You would think. I mean, Trey Hendrickson, like I said, if Shedeur Stewart, that's to me is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If he's good, he helps that entire defense, because Trey Hendrickson, if Trey Hendrickson continues just to be the same Trey Hendrickson, he don't have to go up or down. If he just gives you that, 14 sacks, I think, or 17 sacks, whatever he had, he gives you that type of season again, and then you got another guy, another added pass rusher that can get you double digits. That helps the entire defense, and that defense will ultimately be better just off of those two guys' performances alone.
I'm with Tyvis on Shedeur Stewart being the X factor, because besides him, what did Cincinnati really do in the offseason to improve? They spent a lot of money bringing a lot of people back, but they were still a 9-8 football team that missed the playoffs last season. So I kind of don't get the hype behind Cincinnati in regards to them going to the Super Bowl. I can see them sneaking into the playoffs. I don't see them winning the division or competing for the chip.
I mean, the problem is you're just going to go back to Joe Burrow. You're just going to keep looking and going, well, they can't possibly be that bad because they have Joe Burrow. And, yeah, they paid Jamar. They paid T. They did everything kind of that Joe Burrow wanted. But I get what you're saying, Dylan, because, yeah, your best player on defense is not there right now. And even when he does come back, and I've gotten flack for this, and I deserve this for my hot take, is like, I don't think Trey Hendrickson is a top 3 pass rusher in the NFL. Does that mean that I don't think he's elite? I mean, I think he's very good. And do I want to sit there and put the rubber stamp on it that he's elite? No. And people say I'm wrong for that. Okay, fine. But you're right. I see so much turnover in that secondary that they've had there. And I just don't look. I'm going to take Hendrickson out of it right now because he's not on the field and he's not there. Who scares you on that defense?
Nobody.
Cam
Taylor-Britt.
Nobody.
Dax Hill.
Nobody. You look at that and you go, we'll pick on that guy. We'll pick on that guy. And even if you have Shedeur Stewart be what we hope he's going to be, Tyvis, you still got to have some DBs that can cover for a couple of seconds before they can get to the quarterback. Like, I get where it's coming on this defense. It's just you want to be that team that wastes away Joe Burrow. I know that's what they're trying to fight there in Cincinnati. Browns, it's quarterback play as being their challenge, but there's not much. We'll dive into more of the quarterback thing with the Shedeur Sanders injury coming up in just a little bit. But, yes, their challenge this season is going to be who their starting quarterback is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's a layup. That's a layup. If their quarterback play is good, I mean, at the end of the year, they need to have an answer on what their quarterback is going to be for the future, whether he's on this roster or he's not on this roster. I think that's ultimately the thing. And when you look at this season, if Joe Flacco can play 17 games like he did once before, or it's like he played those, 6 games he played before.
Yeah,
if he plays like that, I mean, this team could be as good as anybody, especially if that defense is back to being what they were 2 years ago. But yeah, the quarterback play is going to dictate a lot. I know that they're trying to go back to Kevin Stefanski's playbook where it's heavy run, heavy play action, and really the running back is probably going to be the most key thing. But at the end of the day, you win in this league with a quarterback. And, yeah, hopefully that we got that. We'll see.
I'll give you one more challenge because it's a real one. Their schedule is brutal, and that's not something that they can control. I mean, it has a little to do with the record and stuff like that, but their schedule is so hard, especially to start the season, so I think that's going to be a big challenge. Let me sneak the Ravens in. They talk about secondary. They just brought in a lot of new people there as Stevens moves on, Wiggins is there, Jai Alexander is there, Chidobe Awuzie is there. Then we get to the Steelers one, and this is the one that I was like, but I kind of get it. The Steelers' biggest challenge in 2025 from CBS Sports is Aaron Rodgers. So it's like the whole season hinges on what your quarterback is going to do, but yet he's also your biggest challenge. And the whole thing they bring up here is it's a question mark on just what is he actually going to do, or what is he going to be? Because what made Aaron Rodgers so great and winning some of those MVPs, he's not that guy anymore. You're not that guy, pal. He can't move the way that he used to anymore. You wonder the structure of Arthur Smith's offense. I love the DK Metcalf move. They got Jalen Warren. They got to replace Najee Harris, but it is a giant question mark on what is Aaron Rodgers going to be. And that inherently then, Tyvis, is a challenge because you don't know what you're going to get out of your quarterback.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's funny because I was watching, Jalen Ramsey was on Ryan Clark's Pivot podcast the other day, and, he was saying, like, this team is really good. Aaron Rodgers is still a competitive person and all of these things. And I'm just sitting there like, well, one, you ain't got no choice but to say that. That's one.
Sure, right.
But two, like, we'll see. If Aaron Rodgers can be just a glimpse of what he once was, that Pittsburgh team can be very scary to go up against. Obviously the defense is going to be really good with that secondary, having Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., like all of having those guys back there, obviously TJ Watt and Cam Hayward. Like, there's going to be nobody's ever going to question that defense. They're going to be ready to play. They have always been a quarterback away, since Ben left. They've been a quarterback away. And I thought getting DK Metcalf, if he put the candy down and actually take care of his body.
It kind of works. He is jacked out of his mind.
I'm not this is the thing. It's like Shaq. This is like how people criticize Shaq. If Shaq would have took time to work on his free throws, like, he'd be even better than what he was. DK, if he actually like took care of his body and like put the right nutritions in his body, he could be better than what he is. So like that's a thing. It's petty, but that's a thing to say.
For those that don't know, DK Metcalf, he eats nothing but candy for lunch and then eats one meal a day. Like, he eats dinner, he has candy, he works out, and then he has one meal for dinner.
He said he wakes up, he drinks a cup of coffee that holds him to about lunch. At lunch, he gets about 2 to 3 bags of gummy bears. Or whatever it is, something like that.
Skittle. I
Skittles, so Skittle
like
gummies or something like that. And then he eats lunch or dinner, and that's it.
He still might be the most jacked dude in the NFL, despite everything you just said, which is really impressive.
But just think, he could be better.
Oh, yeah. You're probably right.
He could be so much better. But and like I say, offensively, like, they have the talent. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that's the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge is, do they have an offensive play caller? Is Arthur Smith going to actually call great plays? Because, like I say, every Steelers offensive player that leaves there talks about how the offense is not good at all. Yeah. Like, they don't know what they're doing offensively over there. So, did they figure that part out?
Based off the offseason, it feels like to me that everyone thinks that this Ravens are going to win the division and Cincinnati's going to finish second. And I don't understand why people are sleeping on the Steelers. Like you said, their defense is always going to be good. And if you combine the stats of Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, they had about 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 3,500 passing yards. Do I think Aaron Rodgers could at least duplicate that? Absolutely. And if he just at least duplicates that, they're getting in the playoffs, because guess what? Despite the narrative of the Bengals, the Steelers are the second team to make the playoffs out of the AFC North last year, and not Cincinnati. So I don't understand what Cincinnati did in the offseason and what Pittsburgh didn't do in the offseason. I feel like the national narrative is that Cincinnati jumped over Pittsburgh, and my question is why?
No, I think Pittsburgh had the move of the offseason. And that's with quarterbacks that got moved. Like that trade for DK Metcalf, I go, that was genius. Genius. I loved it. The Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey, they move on from Pickens. Okay, fine. Here's the only thing that I'm going to bring up about Pittsburgh that I question. Everything I've heard is Arthur Smith wants this ball out, quick. And you're like, okay, that works because Aaron Rodgers is older and he don't want to get hit anymore. I don't know if that's his game, though, Tyvis. Like, what made Aaron so good was he would get out of the pocket. He was never a running quarterback, but he moved, and he was like this off-script backyard type of football player, and that's what made him so good. Now, at this age, maybe he is fully in on this change, and I think that's why it could be a challenge. Like, it's a bad pun, and I'm sorry, but it's like you're trying to teach an old dog new tricks. You are, and can you do it at this age? Is he willing to do it? We'll all find out for sure.
I think that he's more removed from the Achilles injury. When you had that Achilles injury, it slows your mobility down. Yeah. So now that he's 2 years removed from it, maybe he's gotten a lot of that back. And two, if he does go back to being the ultimate backyard quarterback where he scrambles around, he's got one of the best players as far as size-wise that he could just chuck it up to and make a play, and that's DK Metcalf.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. All right, we got to flip back over to some Ohio State because there's a stat that's getting circulated that is a good one for Buckeyes fans when it comes to whoever they name as their starting quarterback. And should there be a little more pressure on Ryan Day to name that starting quarterback? We got all that coming up for you. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there. Well, if you usually take 670 for your morning commute, do be mindful that eastbound direction right at 315, we are noticing a crash out there. Right shoulder currently blocked and crew members still on scene. Not too bad when it comes to travel times in this area, but again, crews still on scene. Just be very mindful as you're passing the area. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
When was the last time you could just jump out of bed without having to worry about your knee or back? You probably have this in the back of your mind. This will disappear, but nothing has ever changed. It's Tyvis Powell, and it's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Wolkoff and his team at QC Kinetics here in Columbus. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. I'm glad that I did. Let me tell you about my experience. Other patients and myself have turned our lives around with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissues. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Check it out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Do your good-looking shoes hurt and you don't want to wear ugly shoes? At the Good Feet store, we can help you wear your heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. Drains are clogged throughout the house. I'm gonna throw a fit.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu, fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. One of these men is bald and fat. The other is T-Bone. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You got Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week. I would say so. Can I tell you a funny story, quick time? Mm-hmm. So, I did Cleveland radio for a long time. I do a show up here now. And it would ever come up, that they inevitably, like, they would just be a joke about fat Montana, right? And I was out at an event, and this guy was very nice, and he comes up to me, and he goes, "You're Matt, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he gives me this look up and down. And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're not fat." And I was like, "No." I'm like, "You don't get it." I was like, "Flip the M and the F." And he's like, "Oh!" He goes, "I never got it." He's like, "Oh!" He goes, "I just thought." He literally was looking at me up and down. And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What are you looking at?" And he looks, and I was like, he's like, "Fat Montana." I was like, "Flip the letter." He says, "Oh, my bad." He goes, "I thought you were just some fat." I was like, No. I was like, "That's not me. That's not me." So I was like, I appreciate it. I was like, "I'm glad you came up and said hi." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, my bad." I'm like, "It's all good, bro. It's all good." So that's where we're at. So I'm filling in the best I can for T-Bone this week with Tyvis.
People also expect me to be fat when they see me in person for the first time because how much I talk about food on the air.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I get that.
You will be. You keep doing it. You will be.
I have the spirit of a 400-pound man in a 200-pound man's body.
Well, let's keep it that way. That's probably the best way to do it. And like we're all of similar age here between the three of us. So like there will be a day that's not really the case. But we'll just get the DK Metcalf diet. Skittles for lunch. Dinner. The only thing is we're not out on an NFL field working out all day and practicing, but
I was on a field yesterday. Cardell had this he was with Pro Camps and he had this little youth camp for kids yesterday at Olentangy Liberty. Shout out to Olentangy Liberty.
Good friend of mine coaches.
And I was sitting there, we was coaching up some of the kids, and then they had this fastest kid race at the end or towards the end. And for some odd reason, they wanted me to race.
No.
So I was like, this is, cheetahs don't stretch. So this is no stretch. This is no warm up. This is no nothing. This is just Tyvis going out there running. So I look at the kids and I say, you know what? I'm going to be fair. I'm going to start 5 yards back.
Wow.
5 yards back. I rolled all them kids.
Did you really? No, were your hams? You didn't pull a hammy or anything?
No, I didn't pull a hammy, but I'll tell you what, my hamstrings was a little tight this morning.
This morning's
little tight.
It's the next day.
Did you pick the fattest freshman lineman to go up against?
These kids was anywhere from the ages of I'd say from 6 to 14, 15, something like that. These was young kids that this happened to. If these was high school seniors, I would have had to put my hand down on the regular line. I probably still don't get me wrong. I would have still rolled them. Now, don't get me wrong, but I would have maybe stretched for this one.
What's your 40 time at your current age, Tyvis? You think you can
4.46?
No way.
Google it.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
4.46. That's what it is. It's 4.46.
4.46 for forever.
Until somebody make me put my hand down and take a watch out and clock me, it's 4.46.
That sounds like a station event, Dylan. If I've ever heard one right there, you throw that down, then you get people to do some charity thing, pick the other side of it.
Man, when I went to Dustin's wedding, what was that, 2 months ago, I was talking to Mike Doss. Mike Doss said that he got cash that I won't get 5 flat or under 5 flat. It was
you can run 5.
That was going to be my question.
He was talking big money. I'm like, we can go out there right now.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a charity thing here. I think we get a station event out there. People get placed fictional waivers, know that it all go to a charity, and you pick one side or the other. And pick a time, 4, 5, 4, 6, whatever.
I'm 5.
You got 5 flat. You don't think I could get 5 flat?
You got to be in the 4s.
Okay.
Oh, he's got that.
Okay. There's
no way.
That sounds I'm gonna just send you my banking information if that's the case, because
I ain't taking that.
That's gonna happen.
I ain't taking that. 4.6 maybe. Maybe I'd take that.
4.46 is what you meant.
I know. No. I mean 4.6. Bro, there's you know what? This is why there's intrigue in this. I love you, man. There's no way you got a 4.4.
4.46.
All right. right.
I still got
you
the
guys
speed.
tell me when you guys get this all set up. If Fish and Timmy are listening to this, and you guys get this set up, I'm coming down to Columbus. I will be there in person. You don't know why I'll be there in person because I'm at my own little stopwatch. I'll be pulling a Jim Harbaugh at the combine, sitting there running my own little stopwatch.
Man, you
tell me what day
you
it is.
haven't heard about me stealing to go to second base in the major league game. You don't think I have to run a 4.46? That's how.
All right, man.
Just saying.
Well, are you talking about you would train for, or like if you went out to like the
No,
park?
this is
No, he said he could do it
today,
right now.
like right
today,
now. Like
you could go out and do it this afternoon.
if the Guardians called me up today and said we want to do a challenge with you stealing from first to second with Bo Naylor as the catcher, like yes, today I would successfully get there.
And I threw out like, let's just go down the street and have the Clippers do it. And Tyvis was insulted. He was like, no, major league competition, man.
No disrespect. No disrespect to the Columbus Clippers.
No, we love the Clippers, but like I think there is a difference between baseball, like running a 40 on a football field, and like stealing second base, though.
Tyvis said he could do it, and I think a AAA catcher would throw him out. That's what I think.
I mean, not to get into the weeds, but usually you steal off the pitcher, but that's neither here nor there. That's all right. Dude, 4-4. That's
4.46.
That's spicy, man. I think I'm as fast as I used to be, and nobody would ever confuse me for fast. I think my fastest 40 was a 4.8. Like that's it. I was never a speed guy, but as I've gotten, I tell you this, I don't know the last time that I've sprinted. Like I've had to run after my kids. And now that I'm a little older, I'm in the gym, like I do rowing and I like doing like the elliptical and the stairs and all that. But I can't tell you last time I've like put my hand in the ground and said, I'm going to see like what my 40 time in
You don't
sprint.
do like treadmills or run around the track?
No. I can't tell you last time I've done that.
That's the old man workout.
That's the old man workout.
I'm only 32, and I'm scared if I put myself in a competitive situation that something on me is going to break. That's how long it's been since I've been in like a competitive game of something.
Y'all saying y'all gotta get back out here.
Well, my brother plays softball, and he's in some competitive leagues, slow pitch softball. And he called me the one night, and he's like, "Dude, we're short guys. Like, if you don't show up, we got to forfeit." And I was like, "Oh God!" I was like, I'll go." But I'm walking out on that field making the mental preparations that my Achilles tendon is going to snap because I'm like, I'm there like, do you want to play the outfield? And I was like, yep, because I'm not, and I played baseball my whole life, but I was like, I'm not catching one in the face. I'm not going to play third base. I'm not playing first base. Go put me out in the outfield. That's fine. And don't you know it, the second batter of the entire game, and I'm sprinting after this ball in the whole step, every step. I'm like, I'm going to step in a pothole out here. I'm going to step in a hole, and I'm going to snap my Achilles tendon to the moon. And I got done with it, Tyvis and Dylan. And again, I work out, and I do cardio, and I do all that kind of stuff. Dude, I was sore for 3 days. It was softball. Mm-hmm. And I got done, and I was like, should have been in a body cast for 3 days. I couldn't do it. So I'll leave that to you on the running part of it, because there's no way I could do it. But you think you got a 4.46 in you? You do. All right. Well,
4.46.
I'm gonna put that out for the good people at 97.1 The Fan. That's our next event. Our next out. Well, you know what? That 5K. I know it's already over, but when we do the 5K again next year, I think we kick the 5K off with Tyvis running a 40.
You giving me a whole year to get ready for that?
To prep.
Wow.
Whole year to prep.
Yeah, okay.
Whole year to prep. Write that on down. We'll get it done for you. All right. Coming up at the 8 o'clock hour, we got to run through a quarterback stat that's going to make you feel good about the Buckeyes. There is a new sports misery index from ESPN that we can fill out. And what are the Browns going to do at quarterback? They got injuries aplenty. Eventually, they got to name a starter. Who's it going to be? It's all coming up right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, we are watching a new crash pop up on our time saver traffic system. This is 70 westbound just past State Route 256 over on the east side. Bryce, Reynoldsburg, looking at you really. Left shoulder still blocked this morning, causing a little bit of congestion in the roadway this morning against 70, that westbound direction leading into the city. Make sure to pack the patience as you step out the door this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by 3D Cabinetry, your go-to for fast, hassle-free service from order to install with fully assembled all-wood affordable cabinets. Free consultation at 3dcabinetry.net.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we helped Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad. I've been taking the low T treatment at Tri-State Men's Health for a little under a year now. So I was really just struggling with finding the energy to accomplish the things I wanted to do every day. By the end of the workday, I was very drained and tired and found it hard to concentrate and get my job done, and was looking for something to kind of get that edge back. Once I started taking the treatment, I felt probably within the first 2 to 3 weeks more energy. And the thing that really I noticed right away was sleeping. Now I get a solid 8 hours. I'm going on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. So men out there, if you're struggling with any of the symptoms I was, low energy, brain fog, lack of sleep, I would highly recommend you call Tri-State Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Chad. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
At CME, many of our team members are certified financial counselors, trained to help you budget smarter, tackle debt, and build a plan for your financial goals. They offer free confidential support exclusively for CME members with real-world guidance. Whether you're starting from scratch or need a plan for a specific financial journey, our counselors are here to help. No judgment, just support. Let's move forward together. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit cmefcu.org for additional details.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Wake up and cash. It's Top Picks on Morning Juice, powered by WeWinYouWin.com. Professional sports bettor Chad Patrick. Dropping plays and juicing up your Friday mornings with fresh pick winners. WeWinYouWin.com. Built by winners for winners. Stop guessing and start cashing.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and the deals are hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for just $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or drive home in the new 25 Honda Prologue EX. Lease it now for only $149 a month, or 0% APR, plus no payments for 90 days. Get the deal you deserve at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Dylan Gonzalez. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders injured an oblique yesterday morning, according to the team, and was held out of first day of joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles. Further medical testing and examination revealed an oblique strain. Sanders is considered day-to-day, won't practice today, and is unlikely to play in the preseason game versus the Eagles on Saturday. And the Cleveland Guardians lost at home to the Miami Marlins by a final score of 13-4 last night. The rubber match will take place tonight. First pitch is at 6:40. And finally, the Cincinnati Reds blanked the Philadelphia Phillies 8-0. Miguel Andujar broke the game open with a grand slam in the seventh, and Hunter Green pitched 6 strong innings en route to the victory. The Redlegs will have today off, but will start a series with the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow. This update was sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Don't put off losing weight this summer. Reach your goal during the easiest season for weight loss. Awaken 180, the official weight loss program of summer.
One of these men was prom king. It was T-Bone. I swear to God, you think I'm lying, don't you? But I'm serious. He didn't always look like this, okay? Here's the prom king and Tyvis.
I got a stat that came from the On 3 guys, which is just such an interesting one. That is a good one you're going to want to hear if you're an Ohio State fan. Tyvis Powell, Matt Fontana with you this week here on T-Bone and Tyvis. So shout out to Ari Wasserman and Andy Staples, of course, from the On 3. And they were talking about the AP Top 25 poll, and Andy had a stat, Tyvis, about the last 20 national champions. Did you see this stat by chance?
I have not.
Okay, good. This is perfect. Okay. Because he asked the same question to Ari. The question is this. Of the last 20 years of national champions, how many were won by a first-year starting quarterback? So it doesn't have to be a freshman. It could be a junior or sophomore, but it was their first year as the starting quarterback. How many times of the last 20 did a first-year starter win the national championship?
Oh, I feel like that's very low. I'm going to say 2.
That's exactly the number that Ari picked. Exactly the number that Ari picked. The actual number is 9.
Really?
9. And I'm gonna butcher the list, Dylan. I don't know if you've seen it too to try to help me on this. It was like Jameis Winston, Florida State, Cam Newton when he was at Auburn, Matt Flynn when he was at LSU. Then there was like the Alabama guys like Coker, Mac Jones, A.J. McCarron. They were all like first-year starters. They weren't necessarily freshmen, but they were first-year starters. And I bring it up because, you know, we talked a lot about what Paul Feinbaum had to say earlier where he thought Ohio State was too high in the AP poll, and he kept pointing at the quarterback, and I go, well, look. For the last 2 decades, almost half of the national, Trevor Lawrence was one as a true freshman winning a national championship. But there were so many examples of guys that I think it's more like I don't say the college dream, but like Tyvis, you were there, you lived it. Sometimes you got to wait your turn, right? Where you wait for the upperclassmen who were there to graduate, and then you take over this really good team. Mm-hmm. And I know Sayan and Keenholz both kind of got here in a little bit of different ways, the transfer and recruiting and all that. But, like, this is still a good football team. You still have Jeremiah Smith. You still have a lot of pieces on defense that I don't want to say it's simple as plug and play, but hearing that kind of made me like reaffirm my belief that Ohio State really should be in this national championship conversation, even though they're going to be breaking in a new quarterback.
I don't know why, but for some odd reason, ever since Ryan Day has been on Ohio State staff and been at Ohio State, like the quarterback position is something that I don't worry about. You know, I feel like they find a way to get the best out of, like, the worst quarterback he's dealt with is Kyle McCord, and Kyle McCord's numbers isn't even bad. Like, so, like, the quarterback position is just not something that I'm just worried about. It's like receiver at Ohio State. Like, I'm never going to be worried about the wide receivers at Ohio State because Hardline has done an amazing job grooming those guys and getting those guys developed. And I feel the same way with quarterbacks. As long as Ryan Day is on this staff, I'm never going to question the quarterback because I think they're going to find a way to tailor the game plan to his strengths, and they're going to find the way to maximize who that player is.
Earlier this offseason, I was high on teams like Penn State, LSU, and Clemson because of who they have at quarterback, and I'm slowly I've slowly been getting higher and higher on Ohio State, and this is making me completely pivot on that because I feel like most people's mindset is, hey, if you're going to win the national championship, you need an experienced quarterback. But this stat just throws that theory right out of the window.
I think the stat is telling guys that you got to have the team. It sounds so easy to forget that you still need receivers and line and defense, and that's why I keep just looking at Texas. I keep pointing at Texas, and I get the arch hype. They lost a lot to that NFL draft last year, like even so much so that I understand more the Penn State side of it. Like, you still, whatever you think of Drew Aller, I'm a big Nick Singleton guy. I like Katron Allen. Like, I could see Penn State more. Like, Texas, I go, you want to talk about Ohio State having to flip over their quarterback? Fine. Yeah, they have Arch, but, like, they lost a lot on that Texas squad. And it's so easy to sit there and get focused on the quarterbacks, exactly what you're talking about, Dylan, and say, all right, well, Nussmeier's played a lot and Klubnik's played a lot. Sure, what do they have around them? They're good teams. I'm not saying that they're not. But Ohio State, I'll tell you this. This is kind of stupid the way that I'm going to do this, but follow me for a second. You put Garrett Nussmeier on Ohio State, it ain't no question. People are sitting there and going, they're going to go defeat and win the national championship. You put Cade Klubnik on this team. And I'm not disrespecting Julian Saint or Lincoln Kienholz when I say that, because I think those guys can get to that level. It just takes the proving, which I think they're going to do, and everybody else will be on board. Because, yeah, Julian Saint's a 5-star recruit. Lincoln Kienholz, good player. Like, they're going to figure that out. That being said, guys, when do you think – I don't want to say are you getting nervous, and I was reading some of this yesterday where people are going, when's Ryan Day going to make his announcement? We're coming up on 16 days out. You're 2 weeks out. And, Tyvis, we know that inside the Woody Hayes, we know within that locker room, within that coaching staff, they have the good vibe of who it's going to be. And I think it's going to be Julian Saint. I do. That seems to be the prevailing thought. But do you think it is going to be about time, or are you getting all nervous about Ryan Day not naming a starter at this point?
I'm not nervous about that at all. I like both guys. I think that, if it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter which one of them win the job. I think both of them is good enough to get the job done, and I think they got enough pieces around them, the support and cast around them, to be very successful. So I'm not necessarily. They can take it all the way up to the end. The only thing I would say is that it's messing up the chemistry of everybody else. Like I'd rather you hurry up and pick somebody so everybody on the team knows this is the guy. This is the guy we need to communicate with. I need to be used to hearing his voice, his commands, his things like that. But at the end of the day, you talking about like talent-wise, I think both of them are very talented, and I think whoever it is, whatever one it is, can still go out there and have a very successful season.
When it comes to the actual announcement, though, based off context clues, so Ryan Day said 2 weeks out, so that would be this Saturday, obviously. I think the team will know this weekend, and then I think he'll have media availability on Monday, and then that's when we will all find out. That's just my guess.
Sure, and the thing is, they can take it up because if they're looking for that specific thing, but I always say this when it comes to these quarterback battles, and I'll say it on the pro side of things and in college. Somebody started with a lead. One reason or another, somebody started with a lead. And that lead can go back and forth based on practice and based on what you see each and every day. Somebody started with a lead one way or another. And I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Sane. I don't know if it was Kienholz, but somebody started with that lead, and they either extended it or got passed up. But that's where if Ohio State had a game tomorrow, and that's the famous thing from Coach, is like, well, we don't. But if they did, they know who they're going to start. And that's why I think there's no rush. I'm with you guys. I don't think there's any rush on this. They know who it is. They're working on it in practice. The players obviously know who it's going to be. But the difference is that you are facing a Texas team. This isn't, some warm-up game. You're not getting that MAC school or some school that you're going to be able to warm up. Like, you're going to need to put your best foot forward, and you're going to find that out in a couple weeks. So that's where I think we're getting close, but I'm not worried about it when it comes to Ryan Day. All right, Sports Misery Index. ESPN put this together where you can type in the teams that you are a fan of, and it'll tell you basically how bad you've had it as a sports fan. I want to get to that. We're going to get back to the Browns as well and their quarterback situation. Plenty coming up here. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to your Thursday. Well, crash seems to be clearing up for folks over in the downtown scene this morning. This is 670 eastbound at 315. A right shoulder was blocked for a little bit here, but again, crew members look to be cleaning up the situation. Just in case if you are heading into this area, just be mindful of those still working the scene this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Spend Labor Day weekend at Great American Ballpark. Cheer on the Reds when they face the Cardinals in a 3-game set August 29th through the 31st. Enjoy a fantastic post-game fireworks show on Friday presented by Toyota. Saturday, fans in attendance will receive a Hunter Green bobblehead featuring the Reds ace with his French Bulldog Ross, thanks to Tri-Health while supplies last. Bring the whole crew on Sunday and enjoy some afternoon baseball. Visit Reds.com/tickets today.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
It's like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start off the day with some clouds, although there could be some patchy dense fog, so safe travels in those spots. Otherwise, upper 60s turning into upper 80s this afternoon. Minimal chances of rain. Most of us will have mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, mostly clear with our lows a little bit cooler down into the upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The next time Tyvis hits a home run in softball will be the first time Tyvis hits a home run in softball. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So ESPN has come up with the Sports Misery Index. Don't worry, this is interactive. You get to go in and put in your favorite teams, and it'll basically tell you how miserable you are as a fan of some of those teams. So we're going to do a little bit different. You get to pick between an MLB team, you do soccer, you could do WNBA, all the major sports. We'll get to all of it coming up. Matt Fontana, Tyvis Powell, this morning, T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. And before we get to that, Tyvis, I know things are going well, feeling good, and a big part of that is your health.
Oh, yeah, because we're talking about some misery. I can tell you one thing that can make you miserable, and that is erectile dysfunction. Listen, summer's in full swing, sun's out, the nights are warm, and everything feels a little more alive. You should feel good this time of year, confident, connected, ready to enjoy it all, and not worried about no erectile dysfunction. Don't be like these sports teams and have you miserable. We can defeat erectile dysfunction. Just go see my guys over at Tri-State Men's Health, because they have the treatments that work when the pills and the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can have you last an hour or more. There are 6 locations, 2 of them located here in Columbus. One is in Hilliard. The other one's in Westerville. If you schedule a consult with Tri-State Men's Health today, your initial visit is $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a TMPSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is my favorite word in the world: free. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. And we all love us some good sex, don't we, Dylan? Call them today at 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
There's got to be some inside thing with asking Dylan about that. I don't know what that is. That's between you guys. Snagglepuss tweets he wants to know if you're watching on the YouTube page. My jack is moving? Oh, my God. No, I'm just kidding. I have a jack. For those that don't know, if you're watching the YouTube channel, he tweets and he goes, I have a do you guys like my setup? I changed everything.
You talking about your bobblehead?
Yeah, you see it over there?
Yeah, I see it.
No, I know it moves. Trust me. So it's got like a little, like the UV thing, so it moves back and forth. That's my son's. He loves Jack.
I love how you have it Columbus themed with the Blue Jackets puck and the Buckeyes.
I've always had the puck. I got this puck. I didn't even remember where I got it. It's not like I caught it or anything. It's like from the thing. My wife went to Ohio State, so she had the Ohio State helmet there. And then the other side, I have some Batman stuff because I love Batman. I need to get some more swag. So when I started working with you guys here at The Fan, they were like, hey, all these shows are on video. And I was like, great. But I would just do it. I didn't have a setup. And when I knew I was doing it with you guys this week, I said, that's it. I'm getting a setup. And I told Dylan I have a new thing for my camera. I don't really like where my camera's set up. It's ordered. Amazon's delivering it in like an hour. So I'm going to miss it for the show, but I'll have it for tomorrow. So I think I need some more stuff. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely room for more things to get there. It's like right on the other side of that helmet.
Like like right here.
We'll send you some cruise stuff or something to keep the Columbus.
Some cruise stuff. I have bobbleheads that I'm looking at, but I feel like it'd be disingenuous because they're not my favorite players. And then
you should get a Ted Ginn one.
I should get a Ted Ginn one. Somebody give me a line on a Ted Ginn bobblehead. I need one. Need it. I'll pay good money for it. I need some like Browns things. I need some more technically this is a Guardians thing. It's actually a piece of wood from League Park.
Is it a casino chip?
I do have casino chip. I have a Vegas casino chip.
That'd be perfect for the Guardians. They gamble a lot.
They're gambling Guardians.
Getting looked into, by the way. They got some people looking into them on that. It ain't going to go so well for them, but I get where you're picking up their Tyvis. All right, here we go. Sports Misery Index. So you go to ESPN, you can click on this, and they have an AI chatbot. It's the world that we live in. So here's how the rankings start out. Tyvis, you and I will fill this out together. In general, how do you feel about your sports teams? Do you feel elated? Are you pleasant? Are you meh? Are you flailing, or do you feel woeful about your sports teams in general?
These are pro sports teams, so no Ohio State.
No, Ohio State does not. I tried doing Ohio State. You cannot put Ohio State in this. It's just pro teams. Correct. Those are their words. Elated, pleasant, meh, flailing.
Are we talking about just like of all? Are we talking about this this season coming up?
Oh yeah, that can't. Sometimes you can't decipher.
It's for the length of your fandom, however long you've been a fan.
Oh wow!
You want to go meh, flailing?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go flailing.
Flailing. So that's a misery index of 80 to 60. So like 100 is like you're completely and utterly miserable. So this is like an 80 between 60. All right, flailing. So now we search for the teams. So you want to start with the Browns?
Yeah, let's go with the Browns.
All right. How long have you been a fan? 15 plus years, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so
my
now
entire life, 31 years.
Here's the interesting thing. You can either just sit on the Browns or you can add more teams to it. If you just do the Browns, your misery rating is 100. You do not go any higher. It does not go any higher for your misery rating for that. Let's see if it goes down. Let's add another team. You are a fan of the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Correct.
Are you not?
That should bring it down.
Good news, we're down to a 78.
Okay.
It drops us 22 points.
Okay.
And you've been a fan for 15 plus years, so we're good on that.
So that puts us, what, flailing?
Flailing. We're flailing on that. Do you want to add the Guardians?
Yeah, let's add the Guardians.
All right, let's add the Cleveland Guardians. So we go from an 80 down to a 75. So we drop 5. And they say they've been pretty good lately. But what about that title drought? You've been a fan for 15 or more years. That gets us to a 76. That's good. We can add the crew. You want to add the crew?
Let's add the crew.
Let's add the crew. Columbus Crew. Here we are.
That should take it down.
Takes it down to a 68.
Okay.
Tyvis, 68.
Okay.
I did this exercise. The crew is a 0. So if you're a crew fan, you should have no complaints according to this.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Add the Blue Jackets.
We got to add the Blue Jackets. All right, here we are.
Here it is.
Columbus Blue Jackets, 15 years or more. It keeps it the same. We're at a 66. That's not so bad.
Still flailing.
Still flailing. We're in the flailing range. And it says, you've put some time into this. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so between those 5, and you could add a WNBA team or a National Women's Soccer League if you would so have them, but between the Browns, the Cavs, the Guardians, the Crew, and the Blue Jackets, we're at a 66 rating. I thought about doing this if we would add the Bengals and do the Bengals and the Reds instead of the Cavs and the Browns. So you want to see if that 66
Yeah, let's see if what changes.
Let me see if I can run through this. All right, start, chatbot, here we go. Yes, I know. Okay, I got it. It's got to take you through the whole. All right, get started here. I'm just going to go flailing because then it's the same. Okay. So we had a 66. So here go the Bengals. I'm going to say 15 or more plus years. Add another team. We're going to have the Reds instead of the Guardians. 15 or more years. Add another team. We'll go with the Crew. And then Blue Jackets. And then the Cavs on that. 15 or more plus years. It's 68. It's the same score.
Oh, okay.
It's the same score. If you add the Bengals,
that's kind of shocking, though, because they did have a Super Bowl appearance here.
You see, that's the thing. So I did this exercise for the 3 major cities separately. So
okay, yeah.
Columbus, so you just have the Crew and the Jackets professionally. It's a 32 because, like I said, the Crew are a 0.
The Crew are fine,
but the Jackets are a 92 on a scale of 100 on the misery rating.
See, like, the misery thing is, like, again, if you talk about the Panarin years and the Bobrovsky, like, you made the playoffs, it's fine. And obviously we're a loyal bunch because they still sell out, on Tuesday nights. Like, the fan base, the attendance is great. The arena's great, but yes, it's been low times on that.
Yeah.
They say the Bengals are 21 on the misery rating in the NFL. Like, so it's not all that high,
You Yeah, for Cincinnati, I put Reds, FC Cincinnati, and Bengals. They were for a city 75 Missouri rating, and then for Cleveland, just Guards, Cavs, and Browns 69. I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked that Cincinnati's is higher than Cleveland's as a city. I don't think I agree with that.
I think that's a lot of LeBron bias.
Yeah, don't do that. We had some good years in Cleveland.
Really good years.
Yeah,
I mean,
we living off of a playoff from 2 years ago for the Browns. The Cavs had what they were. Did they finish one in the East this year?
They were the one seed in the East and all the way that you want. But like, think about this: if you go back to 2016, we had a chance to win 2 championships in 1 year.
Yeah, no.
Like we were in the final, won the finals, and we were in the World Series Game 7. If we had a rain delay, we would have won the damn game.
We literally had. We came back from 3-1 and then blew 3-1.
Exactly. Yes.
Unbelievable.
That is the sports gods work in cruel, cruel ways. Well, I think the sports gods are working cruel for the Cleveland Browns with their quarterback situation. I've always known that position has been cursed. You talk about misery index, Browns quarterback, but they're really cursed now. They had 5 guys, and 3 of them are hurt. What are they going to do? This is an interesting question I'm going to propose to Tyvis coming up here next. What is the next move for the Cleveland Browns when it comes to the quarterback? What's the next thing that's going to happen? We'll dive into that. We'll take your response on the YouTube channel. We got it all for you right here on The Fan. Back in 2 minutes.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, folks, we are noticing some foggy conditions in and around the metro this morning. The worst we're seeing is for folks over in Delaware County. If you're stepping out the door, be careful on 23 northbound by Lewis Center. Definitely a lot slower this morning at 33 miles per hour. Noticing patches of fog in your neck of the woods. A similar situation over in Marysville. 1 mile of visibility reported in your area. So thankfully, though, 33 eastbound and 33 westbound still looking good for your drive times. Just be extra cautious on the roads this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
Well, we're talking about the misery index of sports. Certainly happens when it comes to the Browns quarterback position. They brought in so many, and Tyvis, they just keep getting hurt. The latest is Shedeur Sanders. He's out with the oblique injury, so you're now down, so to speak, to Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Tyler Huntley is still there. And we discussed this earlier, Tyvis, that the impact on what the Browns are thinking or their plan. Right? Like, I almost, it is the season, right? We're teachers, all you amazing teachers out there, the educators of our youth, you're out there, right? Mm-hmm. And what do? You always come up with a lesson plan, right? And you sit down, you're all ready to go, and a syllabus if you're in college or in high school or things like that. The Browns had one of those. And it got ripped up and thrown out the window because they kept having these guys come up with these injuries. So now I kind of, what's next Like, what do you think the Browns should do next? So they saw Shedeur Sanders. He looked good. You and I agree Joe Flacco's not going to play in these preseason games.
No, he'd probably play maybe next
or
one,
maybe 3.
Rams,
You're right. You're right. You're right. 100%. So then we get to what's up with Kenny Pickett and his hamstring. What do they want out of Kenny Pickett? Dylan Gabriel sounds healthier and sounds like they really, really, really want him to be the starter on Saturday to get him those reps there. So, Tyvis, what do you think's next? Like, if you were the Browns, is there a move to be made? Is it kind of removing somebody from this competition in a way and just basically saying, like, yep, it's not going to be this guy? Like, what do you think they need to do next with this quarterback situation?
I think that first they got to see if Dylan Gabriel is healthy to go. And if he's healthy to go, you need at least 2 quarterbacks for each preseason game, and you would have 2. You'd have Snoop and you have Dylan Gabriel. So you'd be able to make it through this week. However, when it comes to assessing the quarterbacks, the Kenny Pickett thing is the one that's kind of throwing off everything, because this is a guy that's competing to be quarterback 1, and you want to know what you have, but you've never had a chance to really see. Like, you got to go off of some limited reps in joint practice or something like that, or go off of what you've seen earlier in practice. And to me, that's not fair for him. So he needs to find a way to get healthy. If he doesn't get healthy, like if he's still hurt going into this 3rd preseason game, then I think what happens is, depending on how significant the hamstring injury is, you can initially let him make the 53-man roster and then revert him back to IR, so that way you essentially can carry 4 quarterbacks or 5, whatever, since you got Deshaun as well. So you could essentially carry 5 quarterbacks that way, or you have to go off of the fact that, listen, I got to go with what my eyes have seen, and the future is I got Joe Flacco, and I believe that these 2 rookies can be serviceable or can develop really well over the course of this season, and we need to get those guys in there. So I think you could go that way. However, I would say it's funny because they put themselves in a rough predicament. You remember, I think it was 2 years ago when we traded Josh Dobbs because they wanted DTR to be the backup.
Yes.
And going into that season, and I think Deshaun ended up getting hurt, and DTR became the starter. And all the fan base was, well, you should have never got rid of Josh Dobbs.
And remember, Dobbs went in and won some games.
He went to, like,
Arizona.
He was in Arizona, but like he was somewhere else too. And
Minnesota as well. Yeah, he won games.
Who was it at the end of the season? Was it Tennessee? Like, they were fighting for a playoff spot.
I think it was Tennessee.
And they had to put him in there. I remember that. You're right.
So the fan base was like, how is it that y'all can go out there and give the backup role to a rookie or a guy that we haven't really seen? And we thought that was a major mistake. So the next year, how did they offset it? They ended up getting Jameis, was it Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, Jameis
Winston. 100% Jameis
Winston. It's like, all right, our backup is going to be Jameis Winston.
And he had to play.
So the thing is, as a Browns fan, how comfortable are you with the fact that Joe may go, he might get hurt or he might fall off a cliff? How comfortable are you with having 2 rookies as your 2nd and 3rd string guys?
So I'm not trying to be biased in this, but I'm also, how I started this whole preseason with the Browns is kind of playing out how I thought it was going to, where I thought Joe Flacco was going to start, and I thought the rookies would be here, and I thought Kenny Pickett wouldn't be here.
I agree. I said the same thing.
When I sit here and answer the question, what do I think should be next for the Cleveland Browns? I'm screaming, trade Kenny Pickett away and find somebody like, conditional 7 or whatever. Because I do think a couple things. Number one, this competition is too bloated. It's too much. Somebody needs to be removed from this competition, okay? And I'm going to go off of what I saw last week, that I know Shedeur Sanders can play now. Was that a playoff game against starters in the NFL? No, but I saw enough to know he deserves to be out there. So now I know Shedeur can do this. I'm going to find out Saturday what Dylan Gabriel has. I'm with you, Tyvis, like 100%. I hope he's healthy because I need him to play.
Yeah.
But, this is a dangerous thing I'm about to say, I'm going to trust the Cleveland Browns in their evaluation because they're over the moon about that guy. They love that they got Dylan Gabriel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to trust them that was the right pick. So, again, move him over to this other side with Shedeur, that they deserve to be here. They're in this competition. Joe Flacco's the guy. He's not going anywhere. He's their starter. You move him over. Kenny Pickett's standing there holding nothing. He's standing there.
Let me ask you, does 6 of 19 and 2 touchdowns in practice, in a joint practice, mean anything to you? How does that come off to you? 6 of 19, but 2 touchdowns.
So I know that a lot of my former colleagues at ESPN Cleveland, and I have a lot of respect for a lot of them, and they have this quarterback tracker that is blown up, and it's been everywhere.
Yes.
And I know, like, J.J. Watt has taken issue with it. And here's the thing. I think it is a tool to be able to look and see, okay, this is basically what this guy was doing, or how you want quantify. It's easy to look at numbers. It's easy to quantify things. But, Tyvis, you know as well as I do, sometimes they're looking at different things in 7-on-7. Sometimes they're looking for different reads, or they're trying something different in practice. And as much as I want to look at joint practices and think that every single rep is like a competitive one and they're trying to win, we also got to remember that you never know that, I'm just going to make this up. And like Nick Sirianni like radios over and goes, hey, Kevin, can you run that again? I didn't like this look. And then they run something because the Eagles want to see something. Like, it's still practice, you know? So I'm not knocking it. Like, I think it's a great tool and it's something to look at, but I'm not overly concerned about it. The game will tell me, the game on Sunday, but then I think there's like an inherent, well, maybe the hamstring is still bugging him, or maybe he's still a little slowed down or something like that. Like, we'll see. And the end of the day, the Browns know. Yeah. Kevin Stefanski knows what the play call was. He knows how these guys are feeling, and he's going to make the right decision moving forward. And you can't force Kenny Pickett out of here. Somebody's going to have to come get him. Like, could they just cut him? Sure. But it was a 5th-round pick.
And DTR.
And DTR. I set that aside because I don't think he was
I just like throwing that in there every time someone says a 5th-round pick.
Dylan, I loved that pick. I love that DTR pick, Tyvis. I was like, yes.
I think that they're carrying 4 quarterbacks, which is like crazy in the modern day NFL. There's a lot of teams that carry 2. No, and I think that they just gave up so much for the 3, and Joe Flacco's probably the best one, so you can't get rid of him. It's like you just waste draft capital if you just discard Pickett or Gabriel or Sanders.
They're not. I mean, guys, there's been crazy ideas that they trade away one of the rookies.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, you want to – I think the idea was Shedeur played so well that you want to jump on that wave of success, or like momentum, I guess is probably the better word, to like jump on that momentum for Shedeur to call these other teams, say, well, you could have him for a 3, you could have him for a 4, maybe somebody would. There was reports that they got calls from Dylan Gabriel the day they drafted Shedeur Sanders. Teams were calling, going, are you sure you're going to keep, Dylan Gabriel? Like, I get what you're saying, Dylan, and that's like, I don't want to say cutting your nose off to spite your face, because, like, what's that extra roster spot? A special teams linebacker? Oh, you want to save face on it, but Tyvis, I do think, like, carrying 4, I still don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to find some way to not do it.
I don't want them to do it. Let's just say that. I don't want them to do it. I think it's totally unnecessary. I mean, unless you think Kenny Pickett is Sam Darnold, I guess, whatever, then maybe. But my thing with that is, if Kenny and Dylan Gabriel don't work out, then that is essentially you just threw 2 picks away. In 3rd-round pick, 5th-round pick.
And DTR.
And DTR.
They were throwing him away anyway.
Dude, did you see that video of him? Because he's with the Eagles, and like the awkward handshake. Like they always, the guys go, I feel like I got to go say hi to him. He's here. And like, hey, but like Charlie Hewlett, who plays for the Eagles and was with the Browns for 14 years, the awkward handshake of like, nice to see
Double
you
O's over there too, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He is.
I think in the end, Donald Trump said it best.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah, they don't. If you got, what do they always say? If you have 2, you don't have 1. And what happens if you have 4 quarterbacks? That means you don't have 1.
They technically have 6 quarterbacks, but that's neither near or there.
Okay.
Listen
to that. Here, you ready for this? I'll give you some more theory on here. And this is going to sound like I'm just kicking Kenny Pickett out the door, and I don't mean to do that.
You are.
Because some people have been like, Matt, he looks really good in practice. And I'm like, great. I've seen him play NFL games. Not impressed. But how does Tyler Huntley change that? Where, like, you're more apt to get rid of Kenny Pickett, aren't you? if you really needed like that veteran role to be filled, like, all right, we'll keep Tyler Huntley.
No, they not doing that.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. It's the 5th round pick you gave up.
Yeah.
And Andrew Berry's going to, I mean, deservingly so. Here's my stance on Kenny Pickett. When they traded for him, because I had people, Tyvis, screaming at me all offseason. When I said, I was like, I'm not buying this Kenny Pickett stuff. And they go, Matt, well, wait a minute. That was the first quarterback they got. They traded for Kenny Pickett. They wanted him here. And I go, no. They had no one else. They literally, at the time they got Kenny Pickett, they had only one actual Achilles tendon attached quarterback, and that was DTR. And I will give you that Kenny Pickett is an upgrade over DTR. That's all they had. Then what did they do after that? They went and got 3 more quarterbacks. 3 more quarterbacks after they got Kenny Pickett. I don't think that sounds like a vote of confidence to him, that they felt good about him being their starting quarterback. They went out and got anybody else they could. So I don't mean to kick him out the door. I just think we need to thin this out a little bit. I think the rookies, especially, again, if Dylan Gabriel does enough for you on Saturday, you know you got something in them. You know Flacco's your starter. You kind of take it where it is. All right, little crosstalk coming up, getting ready for Bishop and Friends. And I got a very special thing that I need to throw in for the buzzer. It's a special shout-out to a former Buckeye doing big things. We'll get to all of it next, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, folks, we are still monitoring a crash over in our downtown scene, 670 eastbound at 315, an already busy intersection. Still a little limited this morning. A right shoulder still blocked right now. Looking at our traffic cams, looks like one car still on scene, one cop, as well as an emergency first responder. Traffic cones also in that area. Again, avoid that right shoulder by 670 eastbound and 315. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot. And not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Then you are under siege. From the minute you hit adult hood, stress, bad sleep, junk food, screens, pressure, it all chips away at your testosterone, your energy, and yeah, your confidence. But no one tells you that. And no one tells you the benefit of screening early when you're younger. Research has found that maintaining optimal hormone levels prevents severe men's health issues later in life. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we fight for you. The tired dad, the high performers running on fumes, the gym grinders, the man whom online pills have failed. This is for every man, young and old. Forget pills from apps or emails. You need a real medical provider, a clinic that'll fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Guys, the future is local. Real clinics, real specialists, real answers. Testosterone results in minutes, not days. Columbus Men's Clinic's friendly staff is on standby, ready to tackle your ED, your low T, and enhance your life. Call right now, 614-300-7400, or go to columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the Ultimate OSU Football Insiders. You know it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I watched too. Don't worry, Tyvis. I watched that too. I still have I have the national championship shirt from that. I have two. I have from last year and that one. It's one of my favorite shirts I have. So I appreciate you for your service on that and getting me one of my favorite T-shirts.
Well, thank you. You're welcome.
I watched like such as important as T-Bone watching. I'm Matt Fontana for T-Bone this week. Tyvis Powell. We'll get to the buzzer coming up in a second, but we bring in Eric Reeser, of course, Bishop and Friends coming up at 9. And we were talking about Paul Feinbaum, which is going to be on your guys' show coming up at 10:30. And we were just really, I would say bothered, but like he takes this shot at Ohio State that he feels like they shouldn't be where they're at in the AP poll. And the problem is that all the issues that he takes with it is the same issues that Alabama has, but he thinks Alabama should be up higher than they are when they play, frankly, in the tougher conference. I mean, I don't get it. I know Bo will bring it up with him. I know you guys will bring it up with him, but I'm just interested to hear what he has to say at 10:30.
Yeah, first off, good morning, gentlemen. Matt, are you a wrestling fan?
Not really, no.
Well, like any good heel,
yeah, I know
it is Paul Feinbaum's job to rile up the college football fan base. And in the months of August and July, June, May, when there's no actual football to be played on the field, it is the job of people like Paul to rile up, and he does it, I think, better than anybody else.
Oh, better than Mark May?
Yes.
You think?
I think.
Well, Mark May was just specifically
Mark May came
Ohio
off very
State.
bitter.
Yeah.
Because I think Pittsburgh got smacked by the Buckeyes in like the 90s, and he never got over it.
What about Desmond Howard?
Better than Desmond Howard.
Okay.
Because he can do a whole national thing. Desmond can just chirp at the Buckeyes. So Paul does it to a sense to where you have the Big Ten, really one of two national conferences along with the ACC, that they all get mad at the things he says because he leans so heavily into the Southeastern Conference. He had made comments over the weekend, I think, to like a Netflix sports podcast that he was sick and tired of Michigan fans and Big Ten fans coming at him because of his criticism towards Michigan. And he's absolutely not sick and tired of Michigan fans coming at him and his show for criticism towards Michigan. Like, he brings that all upon himself. And so this really, if you ever have a superhero villain that gets power from negative energy, that is Paul.
Okay.
See, but like the interesting thing about Paul, and you're not wrong, it's like the old saying, is the enemy of my enemy my friend or my enemy? Because I will give Paul Feinbaum's, I don't like using the word hate, so I'm just going to say dislike. His dislike for Jim Harbaugh is one of the, like, he cannot stand him. And that, again, is the enemy of my enemy. You know, I know Harbaugh's not there anymore, but, like, his time in Michigan. So that's what always gets me on Paul is I'm like, I listen to him just take any shot, any opportunity that he can to take a shot at Jim Harbaugh. He takes it. I'm like, see, I should like this guy. I'm in on this guy. But then now it seems like he's turning his attention towards the Buckeyes, probably because the Wolverines are irrelevant.
Yes. Will you make sure when y'all talk to him, will you get the location that he will move to
Yes.
What specific country will he move to if somebody in the Big Ten just so happens to win the championship?
I mean, he's like everybody for the last 20 years says, if X happens, I'm moving out of the country.
I just want to know.
Nobody's moving out of the country.
We think it might be Canada.
Yeah, and I say that doesn't count. I don't think that counts.
doesn't count.
How does that not count? That's out of the country.
No. Like, he should be like in a hut living somewhere and like having to fish for his own food. He can get a satellite link up. He can keep his ESPN job. But, like, out of the country, yeah, like Toronto, it's like living in New York.
I mean, you could argue that parts of the South are just different places compared to where we are in Ohio. Like, there's places in Alabama, I'm sure you go, this isn't the country I live in.
What's coming up on Bishop and Friends?
So along with Paul Feinbaum at 10:30, we're going to do the AFC West as part of our NFL two-a-days. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders will be the programs that we discuss in the 11 o'clock hour. And then at 11:30, we'll get Josh Klinger, who's the sideline reporter for the Kansas City Chiefs radio network. He'll jump on at 11:30. Is this the year the Chiefs come back? Travis Kelce obviously made plenty of waves with him and Taylor Swift on their New Heights podcast. Says that he was too much of a showman last year for the Chiefs. Now that he's lost some weight, maybe refocused on football, do the Chiefs finally win the big one, Tyvis? I know everybody's asking that question.
Well, Pete Carroll said with the Raiders, so I'm rooting for the Raiders.
I was going to ask, Reese, are you guys Swifties on Bishop and Friends for planning this the day after the podcast drop? I don't think
that's
it's
exactly why we did it, Dylan. You're right. That's a very good job out of you.
She'll be now that Taylor's the big football fan that she is. She wants the insight. She's ready to go. Real quick for you guys, Chiefs to the field to win the AFC West. Chargers looking a little bit better. Raiders, we'll see. And then obviously everybody thinks the Broncos. Who would you take to win the West?
I'm going with the field.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Too.
Chiefs.
As long as I got that football wizard.
Yeah.
The field. Y'all scary. Field.
I defend Justin Herbert. I like Bo Nix, but I just don't think it's quite there. Reeser, appreciate it. We got Bishop and Friends coming up again. Don't miss it. Paul Feinbaum at 10:30, but we got to slip one last thing in. Time for the buzzer.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
We have got to shout out the one, the only Mr. Neil Shipley, Ohio State Buckeye, and he is now a card-carrying member of the PGA Tour. Congratulations to Neil. If you haven't seen the video, he was on Pat McAfee yesterday, and Pat and AJ broke the news to Neil that he got his PGA Tour card. He won twice on the Korn Ferry Tour this year, and there's two guys, like, I love golf. I love watching. There's two guys. Neil, because obviously he went to Ohio State, and then Justin Lauer, he's from Akron. So those guys, I mean, they're carving their way out of their careers, and I saw that. I was so happy, so proud for Neil that he got his card to be on the PGA Tour. So we'll be seeing him a lot more next year. Tyvis, congratulations. Former Buckeye back on the PGA Tour. I love it.
Go Bucks.
Go
and real
Bucks.
quick, happy birthday to T-Bone.
Yes. Jonathan Smith.
Is that why he's out?
Not exactly. That's a long story.
Another reason. Yeah.
That's fine. I don't need to know. That's all fine. I had this tweeted at me, though. He shares a birthday with Halle Berry.
Oh,
good for him.
That's a Bedford Bearcat. Shout out to the Bedford Bearcats.
Somebody said Cleveland's own. So that would you rather do a show every day with T-Bone or Halle Berry? Tyvis.
No. That's
Save that answer for another day.
I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth. That's all good. We're back tomorrow for a Friday edition of T-Bone, and Tyvis will be back for that. Maybe we'll get the answer to that question. But again, don't forget, Paul Feinbaum, 10:30 coming up, and then Adam King is on Rothman and Ice today, and then Common Man and Timmy, Too Hot. Panama Ted. Did Panama Ted give himself that nickname, do you guys know, or did somebody else name him Panama Ted?
I'm pretty sure Common Man gave him the nickname.
Okay, I got a rule. You can't give yourself a nickname, so you catch Panama Ted coming up. And don't forget tonight, Yogi's Grandview, Beamer and Patrick Murphy for the Buckeye Show from 6 to 8 at Yogi's tonight. So we'll catch you on that. We got you covered all day on The Fan. Tyvis, Dylan, I always love you guys. Appreciate the show. We'll be back tomorrow right here, 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Thursday to you. But we do have a heads up for folks that like to travel just south of Bexley for their morning commute. We have a ramp closure to talk about. That's 33, that westbound ramp to 70 westbound will be closed tonight, Thursday, and Friday, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So a good detour to keep in mind here. Continue on 33 westbound past that ramp to Livingston Avenue instead. Head eastbound in that direction. Go south then to James Road. That will get you back onto 70 westbound westbound in that direction. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic. Make it a great day.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Hugs from patients like Patrick. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Colin Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino.
Mikey, it's time for the ultimate fan experience. You could win tickets to the big home team game.
Legal?
Oh, legal.
Oh, illegal.
Legal. Against a team that wears orange on August 30th.
It all goes down Thursday, August 28th from 6 to 7. All you have to do is use your Penn Play card or the Penn Play app during the month of August.
And you can win a bunch of other prizes as well. The more you play, the more opportunities you have to win.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambler.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a Hittrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
You ever get decision paralysis, like figuring out what to watch or what to eat? Well, the same applies if you're hiring. It can be overwhelming to have too many candidates to sort through. But with ZipRecruiter, you can proactively find the best ones quickly. How? Through their innovative resume database. ZipRecruiter's resume database uses advanced filtering to quickly hone in on top candidates for your roles. See someone who stands out? You can unlock their contact info instantly. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today.